Yo, 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 my people, welcome back to Crazy Bowl TV. Thank you so much for being the building. Please, you know the deal. You know the deal. Come on in, come on in. As you coming in, you know, we got to do the house cleaning. Subscribe, like, and share. I know you guys are tired of hearing this, but I have to say it. Please come on in, checking up on everybody. This is a community check in. You guys know the deal. We're just going to vibe. We're going to talk about everything. We don't have to stick to Liverpool or, um, we don't have to talk about anything. You know what I mean? Big up to MK Toe is in the house already upset with the Club World Cup. I don't blame you, man. My favorite player is injured, man. Sad, man. Omar, big up yourself. So you're American, right? Watch NFL. Where is my pin here? Um, Let me see. Can you see this? Is it upside down? Does that answer your question? Does that tell you what my allegiance is? Big up to you, Omar. Big up to you. Thank you for coming in. Big up to everybody. Please come on in. Hit the like button. Subscribe. Come on in, people. Today we're just gonna talk about everything. People. It's just a check-in. I want to make sure that my community is doing well. Big up to all of you guys. I want to see how everybody's doing. This is just a check-in call. I'm not going to waste your time. I just want to make sure that all of you guys are doing well. Big up to you guys. He says a Steelers fan. All right. You know what you guys gonna do this year, though? What are you guys gonna do this year, though? Niners, we back. All right. We made some serious trade over the off season. So season starts next month. So you know the deal. Big up to all of you guys. Come on, people. Come on in. Community check in. I want to make sure all my people are doing well. I want to make sure all you guys are doing good. Please hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't. Come on in. MK2, good to see you again. How you doing? Almost ready to move on. That's the goal, man. That's the goal, man. That is the goal. You hit the head on that nail. Come on in, people. Come on in. Let's get this thing. Let's get this. Hit the like button. Big up to Anfield Irishman. How are you, brother? Hey, brother, if you're available, man, let me know. Any minute you can spare, man, come on in. I'm glad that you are also doing well. Big up yourself, man. Big up yourself. Great show, man. Oh, man, you had some serious, powerful words last time, brother. Powerful words. Yes. So let me know if you're available, brother. Omar said we coming. That's what we doing. What about ice hockey? I follow what's the name? San Jose, what they call Sharks, a little bit, but I don't follow ice hockey as much. Yeah, people, come on in. Hit the like button. But I know that we have a very strong history, and then you are in Philly, so you know the FSG own that team, your Pittsburgh side, right? I believe. Yes. I love sports, bro. Thank you so much for saying that, Omar. So do I. And I hope you stick a little bit longer and hear what I have to say, because I want the community to come in and I have something I want to say, and it definitely has to do with sports. So please give me time, okay? Don't go anywhere. Okay. Thank you so well. Thank you. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you. Yes. People, come on in, my people. Come on in. This is your show, people. This is your show. I want to make sure my people are doing well. I want to make sure all of you guys are doing well. Hit the like button as you come in. Please, please, please hit the like button, share, subscribe, and like. You know the deal. You know the deal. Uh, while we are waiting, like I said, please come on in. Talk to me. Talk to me, man. Talk to me. We are here. Today is just a check-in. I want to check in to make sure all you guys are doing well, man. Even if you don't want to talk and you want to send the background and just listen, all I want to make sure, just give me a thumbs up and keep your mouth shut if that's what you want to do. Or at least give us a like if you don't want to talk, right? If you don't want to talk, but we just want to make sure that the community is doing well. We can't move on this channel if my community are not doing well. We have gone through some very, very tough um couple days. You know what I mean? We have gone through some tough couple days. So before we can move on with the banter, the transfer window, whatever, we have to make sure the community is doing well. And that's what I'm here for today. Today is all about you guys. I'm doing well. I'll tell you what I've done so far. I wanted to share some pictures, but maybe not. Maybe later. Maybe later I'll share some pics. You know what I mean? I'll share some pics. But please, please, please hit the like button. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. If you're on X, subscribe to my X channel. Also, I have an IG channel. So if you ever group around IG and you see, KB, that's me. Omar said, respect, brother. It's been devastating, the Jota news, and we are just fans. I feel for his family. Jota rape here forever. Thank you. Big up, man. Big up, Omar. Yes, yes, yes. And of course, we got one of our residents, one of our day ones. And if you don't know, please go subscribe to his channel, Anfield Irishman, one of the hardest working people right now. I remember when we started, and he's like, nah, I just want to be a guest. Right now, he's outpacing me. He's outpacing 12 men. I think he and Ensman are going toe to toe right now. Big up yourself, Irishman. How you doing?
Yeah, very good, mate. Well, yeah, yeah. As every day, every day, one of those everyday kind of things. But yeah, just putting in the situations have changed, so I can put
Yes.
in time, and
Mm-hmm.
so I'm putting in the time, and I'm enjoying it.
Yes.
Uh, but only because people come in and watch. I feel
Right,
as though
right.
people, like, yeah, the numbers are doing well. They were so it's been enjoyable, and like yourself, just the last few days, just
Mm,
no news, no anything like that. Just open up the show, and if people want to call in, want to talk
mm-hmm.
about it, call in, talk about it.
Yeah.
That's all it's about.
Man. No, I mean, you know, since you're here, we could get, I can stop babbling by myself. But people are in the building. Please hit the like button. Go to Anfield Irishman's channel. Subscribe if you haven't. Um, yeah, man. So we brother, like today's show, I think I probably rip it off from your show or one of yours where you just talk to the people, when things were rough. I'm one of those people when things are so hard, I'm there for people, but at the same time, you want to give people kind of let them do their own thing. Everybody has their way of grieving, you know what I mean? Um, you can tell people how they should grieve. They shouldn't do it the way some people are doing it. Some people just like to go silent and think about what's going on and pray and that kind of stuff. So I kind of sat back and kind of watched my people, make sure everybody was doing good, check up on people. So that's what this show is all about, checking up on people. We don't have to talk about transfers or whatever going Liverpool. I think we talk about everything. But and big up yourself, Omar. Thank you so much, man. That's what the community is all about. But Irishman, this couple days was rough, right? We don't know this man, but we know him as a person who wear, this badge. And the fact that he's such a beautiful human being, better human being than he is a football player. He and his brother, in the toughest time that a human being could ever be in, was able to bring unity. I don't know if you saw it, But Omar earlier said he loves sports, and I'm a big believer that sports is one of the few things as people, we as humans have left to bring us together. Religion was supposed to do it, but it seems that religion keep pushing us all apart. But sports, man, sports. And for us football fans, we think it's football, but I think it's sports, right? Like, look at all the whole world. Everybody came together to support this man's family. Like, everywhere you look, I saw MMA fighters. I saw, like, I mean, football is what is going on right now. So you see more in the football side. But like, you go on social media and people, like, I have to big up even Manchester United and Everton fans. I have to big them up because they were class. And you could tell football community was hurt. It wasn't just Liverpool. Yes, we are the immediate family. We are like the step away from the immediate family, right? And we are hurt, and everybody is supporting us. But we have to not forget that he came from Wolves, he came from Porto, and then he plays with Portugal, and all those community. His community is bigger than just Liverpool. So people like Bruno Fernandes and is it Casero at City? You used to be at City, and is it not Diaz, but I forgot his name. But a lot of players are so close to him, and you could see even players in Chelsea. Trent, you guys could call Trent all you want, but what Real Madrid did was class because they know the man was hurt. So in hard times, we all come together. And I will say more, but I want Irishman. I want you to, say yours, so I don't just sit here and keep talking by myself.
No, what you were saying that these after all the things that he is first and foremost, which is just a person, a human, and a person who just plays football for a living. Um, that's he is the family is the family. But like you said, after that, he has his extended families, and yeah, it isn't just Liverpool. The fans at Wolves, he came to England, joined their club. He had a huge impact there.
Yeah.
He was absolutely loved and adored at Wolves. Porto kind of started out there, but obviously, and even his hometown club,
Yes.
Palanenses, I think it is Palanese.
Yeah.
So he does 4 or 5 different, and then the whole Portuguese team. It's he's playing for us when it happened, and but it's just a footballing tragedy. It's not a Liverpool tragedy. It's just you see it all over
Say
the
that
world.
again. Say that
Yeah,
again, brother.
yeah, it's a footballing tragedy, not just a Liverpool tragedy. So all over the world, man. Neves, Dembele, teams from Australia to Alaska, putting
Bro.
up tributes. It's amazing, absolutely amazing.
And and now, me being the dreamer that I am, I'm like, why can't we keep doing this? Why does it have to come to this before we do this? Yes, we can banter, that part is what makes the fan. But sometimes I think, and I'll give a story. Football. Did you guys know in 2006, that was the first year Ghana and Ivory Coast was going to World Cup ever? And I'm going to speak for Ivory Coast here, Cote d'Ivoire. They had a civil war that was going on for so long until they were playing their last game to qualify to the World Cup. And because of that, the whole country decided to put their differences aside. And there was peace after that. So we can put our difference aside and do the right thing, and as like I said, I'm a dreamer. So I'm hoping, and when you listen to me in politics, if you on one side, you think I'm on the other side. If you're on the other side, you think I'm on the other side. And me, I'm a person of just get the job done. Right? Get the job done. You're a politician, so I know what your job description is all about. The fact that you're a politician. But this was so beautiful watching people just come together, like you said, from Australia, I mean MLS, like MMA, and this is not over yet. This is not over yet, people. This is going. Remember, all these people that he's so close, that are associated with him, his extended family, is going to be playing tournament all the way to next year's summer, till to I think next year today, right?
Mhm.
Because the World Cup final ends next year, exactly next year today. So the celebration of Diogo and Andre is not over yet. Okay, the celebration of Diogo and Andre is not over yet. And people, let's always not worry about how somebody did this or somebody did that. That is not important. Um, people, people go always gonna be like, why this person wasn't there? What? No, not everybody has to be there. Not everybody was able to be there. Some people made a conscience to stay afar and support. And always trying to make it about something is not important. What is important is the family that are going through something and what we, the extended family, are helping them with. So don't make it about what somebody did because it didn't look good aesthetically, or we didn't see them on the camera. That's not important. If you're just doing it for show, then please stop. Right? So thank you so much, Irishman. That was a very powerful words you said today and your show when it happened. Big up to people. If I start to listen to all the content creators, we will be here just doing nothing. But big up to all the content creators that decided to do the right thing and put everything. Because I was watching Flex, I was watching Saeed. What's the name? Troops. All these guys, and you could see, and these are guys who are not Liverpool fans, and you could see the hurt in people's face. Like, Don Robbie, KG, all these guys, you could see that this was a family issue, right? This was a family issue, and we were all hurting. And it was okay for us to hurt. Don't feel bad for hurting. It's just part of being a human because you lost somebody you love. And hopefully the family knows that they got a family forever, whether it's a Liverpool family or Manchester United family or Everton family or whatever. I'm pretty sure they know they have an extended family for a long, long, long time. And big up to you guys, the community too, because the fans also did what we are all fans. We are all fans to this beautiful game. And guess what? This is what the beautiful game is all about. It's not the Joga Bonito that you saw on Nike commercial. It's exactly this. When something bad happened, we all come together and do the right thing. And we as Liverpool fans, we know way, way about that, right? We know a lot
Unfortunately,
about that. So, no, Irishman, man, continue, man.
yeah, no, unfortunately, we do have a little bit too much practice in having to deal with these things.
Yeah.
Um, it's part of life, and it's not making. Oh, why does always happen to Liverpool? It's not
Mm,
about that.
it's not
It's
about that.
just uh, we had the parade, and after the parade, we had that
Bro.
lunatic with the car, and we had this, and said, okay, okay, slings and arrows, man. It's life is slings
Mm-hmm.
and arrows, right? And there's
Mm-hmm.
some fucking pretty heavy fucking slings.
Tell me
Um,
about it.
but we gotta go. You take it and you use it in the only way you can, which is to make it more of a solid base. And like you said,
Mm-hmm.
things will move on eventually, and people will get back to the way they were. But at least for a time, we
Mm-hmm.
can have some kind of dose of reality to the
Yes.
world.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to, not that we need it from something like this, but just like you were talking about, that's a brilliant example of what happened in Cote d'Ivoire. That
Mm-hmm.
I'd kind of forgotten about that, but as soon as you're talking about it, I remember it literally. Football stopped the war.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so it can be a moment. Hopefully, people will never ever really forget how they felt after this. I mean, in
Mm-hmm.
England, well, in the UK yesterday or the weekend in Cardiff, you had that huge Oasis concert, which is one
Mm.
of the biggest. They're reforming. It's one of the biggest concerts in the last 20 years,
Yeah.
and they paid a tribute to Jota while they're doing Live Forever. They put
Mm-hmm.
him up on the screen, There was also yesterday that enormous concert at Villa Park in Birmingham.
I was
with
gonna say
Black
that. Bigger,
Sabbath.
yeah. Thank you for saying that.
Yeah, and Nuno Betancourt, the guitar player from Extreme, he was wearing a Jota shirt
Mm-hmm.
on stage. So it's everyone around the world is being touched by this. He's been tributes at Black Sabbath concerts and at
Mm-hmm.
Oasis concerts.
Yeah.
This is beyond football. I know that those boys are all big football fans, but yeah, just to see it even reaching out and touching those kind of
Mm-hmm.
and the reaction that it got,
Yeah.
the reaction it got was just yeah, it just really kind of it tugs at your heart, It makes
Man.
every time you see something, it's you get these little emotional gut punches every time you look at something, you see something online, you see another tribute, another quote,
Mm-hmm.
and I just hope that his family and his kids are given,
A little
as
bit.
we just give them the time, and that
Yeah.
space. Couple of years, man, to get over this, just I don't, the club have looked after the family in the way
Mm-hmm.
that they should, so they've taken at least they've taken that pressure off
Mm-hmm.
that
Mm-hmm.
they don't have to worry about how they're going to get on with because you still have to pay bills. You still have to pay your mortgage. That
Man,
doesn't,
those things don't never stop.
they don't stop. They don't stop. You still got to
Mm-hmm.
pay petrol and put food in your kid's mouth.
Mm-hmm.
And now they've taken that pressure off that woman,
Mm-hmm.
which is just an amazing thing to be able to do.
Mm-hmm.
Not to do for the club for doing it, but to be able to do that, to be
Mm-hmm.
able to say to them, we can't bring anyone back, but what we can do is for the next 4 or 5 years,
We got you.
you are going to be rock solid. You
Mm-hmm.
don't have to worry about feeding your kids. You don't have to
Mm-hmm.
worry about getting a new house and moving out
Mm-hmm.
because I assume they'll go back to Portugal maybe,
Yeah.
you know. And also, let's not forget about Andre and his girlfriend,
Man.
So yeah, it's that kind of thing. Like, what can you do?
Mm-hmm.
What can you do? Nothing is the answer, but there are things you can try and help. But
Yeah.
that's
And,
about it.
no, big great words, man. This is what Omar, what you say right now. That's where I want to segue to is people, and I always say football is an escape. If it becomes an obsession, you need to take a pause and sit back, right? Sit back and you know, and yes, this situation is very hard for us to be able to say, oh, we are back into football because the escape has become a tragedy. But at the same time, you sometimes tragedy brings in beautiful things like this, right? Where we all get together and we like a big group hug, right? And we calm down. Right now, look how everybody has calmed down. Even people have nobody's talking. I mean, yeah, some people are talking about it, but the passion of the Club World Cup is so bad, like the aggression of transfer windows. Everybody has come down and say, hey, there's more important things than that, and it's called life, and you have to enjoy it, right? This is sports. You're supposed to enjoy it. It's not supposed to take over your life. And Irishman is right, man. The club have done very well. I mean, like you said, nothing to be praised, nothing to be happy about because we have so much experience, but they know how Liverpool. And this is what I want to say. Don't worry about what Liverpool's gonna do. Liverpool knows what Liverpool needs to do. They always do the right thing. They are not perfect, but they do the right thing. So don't worry about they're gonna do this. They should do this. What they should do. Don't worry. They will take care of business, and they have always done that. So yeah, that's why I love my club so much. That's why I love my club so much. And this thing has gone beyond football. I'm like, I will just keep repeating myself. So I just want to let you guys know. Don't take things serious. Things you can control, let it go. And it's something that I'm learning. Right? Always taking things a little bit way too seriously. If I can't control it, man, I'm learning how to let go. I'm a man of faith, so I'm like, hey, God, take the wheel. Right? Jesus, take the wheel, because at this point, I can't take it anymore. And sometimes, if your faith is strong enough, you see changes. And that's just for me being a faith person. If you are not, that's okay. Whatever you do, continue doing it. Because sometimes, man, we even faith people don't have the answers. Right? So yeah, but I wanted to come in, check in with everybody. I want to hear what everybody's doing. For me, what I did yesterday, Irishman? I decided to take myself out to a date.
Okay.
I went to this posh resort that we have here, and I believe that I call myself a burger connoisseur. Got one of the, and enjoy my sat down into a lounge, like a resort place, and got myself a nice burger, juicy burger. By the time I got up, I was so messy. Brand new shorts that I bought, mess it up, Irishman. I mess it up, ketchup all over the place.
Can't
Uh,
take you anywhere.
I
Can't
know,
take you
man. You
anywhere.
can't take me anywhere. I'm embarrassing myself. Kids are looking at me like, "Mommy, look at this brother here." But the burger was good, right? The burger was good. It was a good time, relaxed, and of course, this thing, I don't know why. Like I said, I don't know the man. I only know him as the person who plays for my club. But when it happened, man, my whole weekend was dumb. Like Thursday, Friday was messed up.
I've been asking a lot of people on my show.
Hmm.
People have been kind of volunteering it as well, but it's um, because I've been saying it to him. Look, we all said
Hmm.
things in the past, right? I never.
Yeah,
Um, I was saying like his body kind of let him down, but he never let us down when he
never.
played. He
Mm-mm,
never kind of.
mm-mm.
I never remember kind of him going off the pitch thinking he didn't try today.
Mhm,
He wasn't putting in 100% today. He may have had a bad game. He
mhm.
may not have scored, but like it's not like some players we've had in the past
Right.
where they're walking off the pitch and you know they weren't trying.
Mhm,
Jota was someone like you never ever felt that they weren't completely committed.
mm.
Got unlucky and stuff, but the
It's
guy
part of
just
the
never
game.
really. He never wanted the limelight though, Kwasi. He
No, no, no.
never
He.
wanted to be flashy,
That's why he plays
bling
video
bling.
game
Yeah, just to cool down to. But I was always just like, what's your favorite moment just from him, just on the pitch?
on the pitch.
Yeah,
Uh, I think it has to do with Arsenal because he was an Arsenal killer. He kind of took it
yeah,
away from what's it, Bobby.
Mane. Or when Mane scored a few against Arsenal as well.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
Mane. It
yeah,
it started with Mane, right? And then Bobby took over. And when Jota came in, he also continued.
yeah.
Um, there was one goal that he scored, a second goal. Oh, it was remember Carabao Cup semifinals. They came to Anfield. It was 0-0. And then they were talking so much mess because that was when Liverpool was like our apex, where we were like the one that used to go with City. So Arsenal fans like, yeah, look what we did. They were making fun. I remember White making fun of Minamino because he blasted the ball over the bar at an open opportunity, and they were making fun of him. And then we went to Emirates, and Jota just killed him. He scored the goal, and then he was kind of like holding his what do you call it? His quavers, like, yeah, that was my favorite part of Jota, man. He was, and then the second one was, of course, Anfield versus Spurs when Richardson thought he had drawn the game for them, and he took off his shirt. And Jota was like, hold this. He goes in and scored. And that's when he sat down and did the video game thing. I was like, yes, man. He
Yeah, he
man,
was.
he was something special. Man. From day one, the shutter. From day one, man. From day one. What's the name? Gary Richards said, Quincy Irishman, one has barbecue wings in the oven right now. Listening to you, Fire Red. That's my boy, Gary. Hey, you better leave me some, people. You
Don't
better leave me
forget
some.
about him. Don't
Shoot.
forget about him. I've had a couple of people now on my show that have come in and said they put a pizza in the oven an hour ago and forgot about it because they got stuck at the other side. Don't forget about him, whatever you do.
Don't burn it, brother. If you
Don't
burn
burn
it,
it.
man, every time you come on the show, we're going to say that Gary burned his chicken wings. No one should burn the chicken wings in the first
At
place.
least it's wings. Wings can take a bit of overcooking.
Yeah. What about you, man? What was your finest moment of?
No, I think, yeah, the Arsenal when he chips it over the keeper,
Yeah.
but yeah, I think the kind of, you might want to put your shirt back on Richarlison moment. That was just,
Hmm.
there's a lot, it's very Liverpool to win a game like that.
Yeah.
It's very, very Liverpool to win a game 4-3
Mhm.
with the last kick,
Yeah.
and I'm glad he got to be one of those protagonists, one of
Mhm.
those guys that actually had that moment because that's he look if you look at his season records or anything like that, he never like went
Mhm.
nuts. He never had like a 28 goal season or anything like that, but
Yeah.
he rarely scored bad goals.
Mhm.
If he scored very good. He was a really underrated header of the ball.
Yes.
He had a great jump, and I've said it from for ages and kind of joke, but I reckon or I guarantee
His
when he
timing
was
was
in the
perfect.
I think he used to train with Ronaldo. He used to get tips off because Ronaldo could hang time
Mhm.
and jump brilliant. I reckon when they were in Portugal together, he was learning shit off Ronaldo, how to time your leap, when to jump.
Yeah.
Ronaldo's a tall guy, but Jota could get up against tall people.
Mhm.
But like Bernie was saying on my show, Jota was one of those guys where a
Mhm.
move would be kind of almost maybe breaking down or something, and he'd
Mhm.
pop up and finish a goal, and you'd be kind of, where did
Yeah.
he come from? Real, like just a really different. He wasn't an out and out number nine. He
Mhm.
wasn't a winger. Wasn't a number
I don't
10.
even know what his
Just
position was. This guy came from
just in the middle
in
doing
the.
stuff, kind of. Yeah,
He knew where to be at in the pocket. If can you imagine if he had 20% of Mo Salah's speed? He would have
yeah.
been. Oh, he would have been a killer. Aunt saying, "Hey, hi lads, hope both okay." Yeah, Rash was going to Jota's funeral, but his brother has just died, so planning his funeral. Yeah, man, that's what I said. The community, football community. I mean, I know we saw some entertainment celebrities who also passed away, especially the one that played Doctor Doom in the first, not the first, but like uh, the was Fantastic Four about 10 years ago. He was also in a show called Nip Tuck or something like that.
Of
I
the
think,
Australian actor.
yeah, the Australian. Yes,
Yeah.
yes, 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 him too. And then, whilst we're talking about that, I would like to also bring up one of Africa's premiers goalkeepers also passed away. Legendary Nigerian goalkeeper Peter Rufai also passed away. I think the news broke a couple hours after Jota's. So yeah, a lot of people we were hurting. Football community, we've been hurting all weekend, right? This man right here, a little bit brief history. I don't know, Irish friend, if you remember him. It comes from a royal family. He didn't need to play football. And you know, Nigerians, when they rich, they rich. But he decided to forgo the royalty tradition and go play football. Became Nigeria's first goalkeeper who scored a goal against Ethiopia. If you guys remember 1994, he was also the goalkeeper for Nigeria. That was probably the one of the best African team ever assembled. Peter Rufai he was different. He was different. But at the same time, he was funny. Sometimes, like good goalkeepers, the easiest goes in. Are you aware of that, Irishman? Like
Mhm.
I will. What was it? Remember, Barthez. Barthez will fly all over the place, and the simplest goal will just go right under his arm. That's how Peter Rufai was. So everybody, they used to make fun of him of that. They were like, "You made that save, and you couldn't stop Maradona's simple ball to the right." Yeah, man. So respect to the Rufai family, immediate and extended family. You know, um, great human being, great human being. If people who know him will tell you, if you read the social medias, you will see that a lot of people been saying some great things, and that's what a good human being is. When you are not here and people are giving you so much love and respect, that tells you what kind of person you were when you were living. Because usually they say they shouldn't say anything if you are not here, but you get a lot of love and respect, and what kind of person is. So RIP to Peter Rufai, one of Africa's children, one of Africa's best. Did you know anything about him?
Uh, I when you mentioned, I didn't remember his name. I
Mhm,
remember that Nigeria team,
mhm.
um, kind of Kanu
Yeah.
era. That was like, yeah, like there was kind of like a time when there were African teams,
Mhm.
and then there was Nigeria.
Yes.
Like Nigeria was kind of like, it was like they were the Manchester United of African football. They were
Mhm.
just so strong for a while. It
Yeah.
was like, um, but when you said the story about him being a royal family, that brought back
Mhm.
some memories of something like that. But I remember that team. But the best, I mean, people always say goalkeepers are crazy or goalkeepers are different breed, but the best goalkeepers are always big
Big.
characters as well.
Yes.
Big personalities,
Yeah.
crazy, Grobbelaar, Peter Schmeichel,
Yep.
these kind of guys, absolutely crazy people.
They,
Barthez, like you said, he'd just
mhm.
be, and then, you pull off worldies. Um, Ali for us, very, very understated, not like that at all.
Mhm.
Maybe this Mamrashvili guy, he seems like a bit more of an extrovert, maybe,
Mhm.
definitely, literally a much bigger character.
Yeah.
But yeah, that '94 kind of era Nigeria side USA, that was such a strong team.
Very strong team. I think they won the African AFCON that year. I mean, they breezed through it. I mean, and that year too was some sad year because the Zambian national team had gone to a plane crash. So they had to make up a team to go, and that team made it to the final. But that Nigerian team was way too strong. Um,
Wow.
yeah, man. Yes, Roger
Made it
Miller,
to the
man, another
final.
great, another great. Yep,
They made it to the final with like just basically
sheer will.
a reserve team. A
Reserve team, yeah,
six.
like a team they just collected. They just collected. Zambia is not known to be like a powerhouse like Nigeria and Ghana, right? So imagine them making a second team out of nowhere to go to the AFCON final was crazy.
Wow.
Ann says, was he part of the Okocha team as well? Yes. That year Okocha was a baby, but he was so good, he was part of the team. That's how bad boy Okocha is. Okocha was, yeah, he was like he's like our who should I say Bradley at the time, right? And he was part of that Nigerian team. That team, I'm telling you, man, that Nigerian team, bro, they were on a different level. But yeah,
I've
man.
never
So
seen another player like him. I've never seen.
Okocha,
I
huh?
mean, you can say, oh, he's a bit like this. He's a bit like. I've
Yeah,
never seen anything like Akacha since Akacha.
bro. And when he was in
Crazy.
Paris, I mean, why do you think Ronaldinho plays with a smile on his face and Ronaldinho was doing outside? That's where he learned it from when they were
Yeah.
both in PSG. Great,
Can
great,
you
great, great.
imagine that? Can you imagine that? Akacha and Ronaldinho on the pitch together in the same. Oh my God.
Man, if I'm a defender, I'm getting a red card because I'm slide tackling. I'm slide tackling, feet up.
Forget about it. Forget
Ref,
about
send
it.
me back into the dressing room. Send me
You
back
come off
into
the
the.
pitch with your legs pointing the wrong direction, man. You just feel all over the place.
Bro, I am not gonna be make me dance like anything, man. But
No.
yeah, but respect to Peter Rufai and RIP, brother. Rest easy. So Irishman, man. Other than that, man, we need to move on. Look at things that are coming up. Uh, Liverpool players. Oh man, I feels for them, man. They're gonna be hurting. I think they got an extra day to. They were supposed to start training tomorrow, but I guess they got moved to Tuesday.
They did. I
Um,
heard they delayed the start of training, or yeah, whatever. I
yeah,
didn't know how long for. It was a day. Okay.
yeah. MK say, Kwesi, you be sliding into air, they jumping and skipping away from your Caesar tackle, bro. I probably will start tackling when they come out of the dressing room. Ref, just take, put me back on the bench. But yeah, man. So they would need our support, man, guys. Our boys. This is not easy, man. This is not easy. It's Can you imagine somebody even like Trent left and somehow some of the players felt how disappointed they were feeling. They were hoping that he would stay. but this one is you're not gonna see him again. So, but one thing I love about Liverpool, and that's why I keep telling Liverpool first, stop telling Liverpool what they should do. They're gonna what they call immortalize the number 20, which basically said is retired, right?
Retired number, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, the number 20 is gonna be retired. That's what I'm saying. This celebration is not over yet. Can you imagine the first goal at Anfield when the season starts?
The celebration, I mean, we're in the I mean, he was only buried yesterday, so it's I know some people say, "Oh, we're time to move on." And, okay, they say people are doing things, but the kid was only buried yesterday.
Exactly.
So for some people, it will take some people will never move on. So some people will move on. It's just people are different.
Yeah.
But just being back together for the lads will probably be the best thing for them. It'll just be difficult for the new lads, Frimpong, Kirkes, Verts. It's going to be a very difficult scenario for them to come back into.
Yeah.
Or you're coming into it's supposed to be all exciting, meeting the lads for the first time, but it's not going to be like that now. It's so
going to be a different
they're going to need people. Yeah, they're going to need some senior players around. Go, look, don't worry.
We got you.
We're all still happy you're here. Come in, join in. You shouldn't feel like outsiders. They will feel like outsiders or imposters because they didn't play with Jota.
Right.
And they're going into a group of people who are all grieving for Jota. So they're going to need people around it to make sure that they're included and they feel like, they're part of this family moving forward.
Yes.
The layers of this quasi are just never ending.
Bro, that's what I'm saying. We were going into this season thinking, finally, the guys got time to rest. They all gonna be together. They're gonna start it from day one, and then this happened. But I usually try to see the silver lining. This could galvanize them. And what Liverpool, when this galvanized Liverpool, what we can do. Remember when Virgil and Gomez came back from injury? And they had that meeting in, I think it was in Austria, where they were like, we have to do this. They almost won a quad. And when Klopp decided that he was leaving, look what happened. Galvanized them. So, yes, Irishman is 1,000%. It could be tough for certain people because I remember there was a story. I don't know if you heard about this college, West Virginia. No, Marshalls. It's a university in West Virginia. Their football team had a plane crash, and they had to make a new team to play the season. And the new players that came in were not acting as sympathetic as the old players who knew those players. So there was always a rift because, like, you guys versus us guys. And eventually they came together and they won the national championship. So knowing Liverpool, I know that it will go the right way. It will go the right way. Brother, the pandemic will not stop us. The pandemic made us even better. Right? And sports, football, actually, nothing can stop it. Shoot, well, yeah, I can't go outside, but I can play in my compound, even in my bedroom, my living room. I'll kick the ball to the wall. All right? But we, the fans, have to be there for them. We have to show that love and support to all of them so they know what it means and who they're playing for. So, yeah, man, I'm looking out for this season, giving these guys the support they need, and that's what we, the fans, have to do. Big up yourself, Edward. Thank you so much for coming in. People, please hit the like button. People, hit the like button. Subscribe. We're trying to get to 500 so we could do the call-up show. I want to be like Anfield Irishman who do call-up almost every day. I want to be like him when I grow up. So, people, please get me to 500 so we could start doing our call-in shows. You know what I mean? And it'll be perfect because guess what? It'll be in the middle of the preseason. We can talk about what we see, what we like, the new transfers that are coming in or who's leaving, and we could discuss it. So people, hit the subscribe button, please. And it seems like YouTube is playing me, keep taking people out of my subscription, man. I'm counting every single one of them, YouTube. You can't be playing me like that. He said, Kwesi Irishman, this will spur the boys on to retain the Prem. That's what I'm hoping. That's what I have faith in. Gary, can you bet on it? MK2. Yes, we will. What about you, MK2? Convince our club is never properly celebrate, and the club couldn't celebrate league parade, bro. But guess what? When we celebrate, nobody can celebrate better than us. Um, with all the tragedy, 1.5 million showed up. One has my shirt. I'll say, Crazy Irishman, one has my shirt already. Yeah. Big up to Trigger TV. Big up to Trigger TV. Now, Irishman, what are you upcoming this coming week? What are you looking up for? I'm seeing Arsenal may have gotten Jokeres. That guy want to get out of there. So any team that would have come off after him, he would have said, yes, I'm going there. And then they Madueke, they heard that they might get Madueke. And then I think who else is going? One of their best youth player might go the other way. And you know how Arsenal fans are. They lost their mind. What do you think about what Arsenal is going over there?
Well, yeah, you're referring to Madueke is looks like he's going to go to Arsenal.
Yeah. Big up yourself, Deludo Steve. Thank you so much. Appreciate you.
Nice one, man. Steve is always on my channel. Good to see you. They are trying to give Wanyeri a new contract at Arsenal, and Wanyeri wants to know about playing time.
Right.
He's not entirely. He's not. He's got the pen in his hand, but he's waiting for that kind of final assurance that he's actually going to have a role in the team.
Right.
And apparently, that's something Chelsea are trying to sneak in on to take Wanyeri.
Yeah.
Because Arsenal are probably they've just signed another striker, so that's one that could happen. Madueke, good player. Gyökeres, I always was kind of thinking someone in the Premier League was going to buy him. Obviously, it was either going to be. It looked like United for a while, United or Arsenal, and whoever he went to, probably he was going to do quite well there. He was probably going to score maybe 19, 20 goals. But I still didn't want Liverpool to buy him. I still didn't want us to kind of, I was kind of, that's cool. He's going to go. He's not one of those guys where I'd be like, oh, we should get it or anything like that. I just a good player in the right system and all that, but he didn't really kind of make me kind of feel like, oh no, we've lost out on this amazing player that's gone to someone else. Even though, like, kind of contradictory, I think he will do really well numbers wise. I just don't know if he was the right option for us, and sometimes it just goes like that. But they are finally kind of making a bit there. Martinelli, something needs to be done there. He needs to be shaken up, but they're also not finished. They're looking at bringing in. I'd say if they could have their way, they would keep Dwanieri. They would bring in Victor Gyökeres, Nani Madueke, and Eze. And I think they might be finished then. I think that would probably be it then. If they sold Dwanieri, they might have to do something else. But I think they would like to bring in Eze, who can play wide or play in the middle, Gyökeres up front, and then obviously Madueke is a winger as well. I think they see themselves as being set then because they've got Christian Mosquera is probably going to join. He hasn't joined yet. And they've got Zubimendi.
Yeah.
They've lost Jorginho. They've lost Partey. If you, I don't know if anyone, if you want to talk about him, you can talk about him. Some people are, some people aren't. But they've lost two of their kind of DM type players. So they've got Zubimendi in there now. Marino can probably drop back in to play the role they bought him to play. So they are looking kind of set.
Yeah, I mean, Arsenal, I told people they don't have that kind of cash that people think they have because they've spent a lot of money in the last the previous 2 summers windows, 100 million plus on Rice, and that year they also bought a few players, so they clocked almost 200 million.
Havertz cost a few quid.
176, yeah. So And then last year too, they spent a lot of money on those defenders and the
Mhm.
midfielders that they brought in. So this year they don't have the cash. That's why I think they're going for Jokeres because that one will be cheaper than Sesko. Because Sesko is not what Ateta won. I said Sesko is what Ateta won. Jokeres is what the football director won. Um, but they have to. One of their prize assets has to go for sure. I think Martinelli and Nyori might be the two that's going to sacrifice for them to bring new players in because this is what I've always said. And what's the name? Turkish. He always talk about ambition from the owners, and we need money to buy this and buy that and buy that. I don't care who they buy. Arsenal don't know how to win, and they have always think that they're better than the small caps, the Carabao and the FA Cup. They just want to go directly into winning the Prem and the Champions League. Brother, you don't know how to win. They always compare themselves up to Liverpool and say, but you guys did, but we're like, people, do you forget that the first year Klopp came in there, we were in 2 tournaments, 2 finals, and we lost both of them. And then we had to deal with going toe-to-toe with City and come out short by 1 point. That's where mentality monsters came from. Mentality monsters did not come from, it's only like 2 minutes left and we came from behind and won the game. That's part of it, but that wasn't it. That was the mentality monsters was the fact that we know how to win something. And winning is not just you putting a whole bunch of good players together. If you compare the team that Madrid has and the team that Barcelona has, Madrid should be wiping the floor in the La Liga. But what's the name, man? Barcelona found a way to learn how to win. Enrique, he brought that winning mentality to PSG. That's something that Arsenal don't have. Until they learn how to win, they learn how to grind, know how to win without buying players. That's when you know that, okay, we know how to win. Because guess what? When the new players comes in, you could say, hey, this is how you do it. And that's why Salah has, that's why Virgil has, that's why Allison has, Robo, Trent, Jota, who else? Who am I missing? Even Diaz. Irishman favorite player. That's why I don't, when people talk about Arsenal, I'm like, yeah, they will be competitive. They will make the league very exciting. But that's about it. They thought they were very close when they went toe-to-toe with City. No, you're not. You were ahead and City just blew past you towards the end of the season. Right? And then the second year around, same thing. And then the third year around, they thought they were, yes, as in Liverpool, if Saka wasn't injured, brother, if Saka played the whole season, we were not close. There was no one point where I was like, oh, Arsenal's going to take over. When they start falling off, I was like, yep, it's a wrap. It was just Liverpool. We were just making it too, we could have won the league in February if we had been consistent between January and February. That's where we fell off. The league could have been done in February for Liverpool. So for me, not too excited. I mean, I'm not until I see it. Arsenal, I'm not worried about Arsenal. City, how do you feel about City getting beat by what's that team? Was it Fluminense?
No, Al Hilal.
Al Hilal.
They were 3-2 up and they got back 4-3.
Bro, that was interesting. This tournament is starting to be what what's the name? FIFA wants.
Can I just say something quickly on Arsenal?
Yes, sir.
I think someone there said it. Dicko's talking about how long it's been, since they won things, and then someone's saying Arsenal talk, like they're on the level of Madrid. This is my only real gripe with Arsenal over the last few years is we went 32 years without winning a league, right? They've gone 20, right?
20 plus, actually.
Yeah, 21. We did bits and pieces in between, whatever. But when we were kind of finishing third or second or whatever, we were never walking around saying to people, "Yeah, you see, this is what you need to do to win a league. This is how you need to blah 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 to
Mm-hmm.
win a league," and
Yep.
kind of lecturing
Lecture
other
people
fans
how to do it. Yeah.
how to do it, and you're kind of looking at them going, "Sorry, are you talking to me? Are you supposed? Is there, have you? Are you in the wrong room or something? Can I see your credentials?"
Thank
You know, it's
you.
like you're talking about the Invincibles. Like a lot of people on YouTube weren't born when the Invincibles was happening. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it that kind of thing never look. They should hope to win. Of course they should. They're not a small team. They're a big team.
Mm-hmm.
But it's the manager, quasi. Like
Yeah.
I'd be worried if a good manager took over that team and bought two more good players.
Mm-hmm.
If a top manager, whoever that might be,
Mm-hmm.
um, Slot wasn't before he came in. Maybe they, but Arteta's been there a while. But if you look at all these people that
Mm-hmm.
win leagues, you'll get the odd outlier, right?
Mm-hmm.
But like we were talking about with goalkeepers, Arteta is basically just a Pep clone, right?
Mm-hmm.
But Pep has an aura.
Mm-hmm.
Pep has real Pep Guardiola aura about him.
Mm-hmm.
He's box office, right? He's box office. Klopp,
Yeah.
box office. Conte, huge character.
Mm-hmm.
Ferguson, Wenger, these kind of people. Arteta doesn't. He can win a league. Arteta can win a league next year
Mm-hmm.
if stuff runs his way. If we get injuries, blah 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 happens, he can win a league next year if he keeps
Mm-hmm.
that squad fit and they play well. He can win it.
Mm-hmm.
But he's not a multiple title winning manager.
Nah.
He's not. He doesn't have that aura about him. He's so B Tech as people used to say.
Mm-hmm.
He's might be this, he might be that, but he doesn't have any of that big
Yeah.
time manager energy about him or that kind of thing where you want to listen to him, you want to be in a room with him, you want to hear what
Mm-hmm.
he has to say. He sounds like, geez, you couldn't wait to be out of a room. You wouldn't want to
Yeah.
be trapped in an elevator with the guy.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not, he doesn't have that extra bit about him to make him a Wenger or a Ferguson or a Pep or a Klopp or an Ancelotti, to be really top up there. So I don't really see it happening with them. If
Mm-hmm.
they were to bring in a new manager, apparently they like him a lot. He's not cheap. He's
Yeah.
one of the best paid managers in the world, is Arteta. He's getting
Mm-hmm.
paid twice what Slot is, which is fair enough. Slot comes in from Feyenoord, blah, blah, blah. But this guy's on huge wages.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing about Man City with Al Hilal, I've, I've, some did an incredible breakdown on this, and I hope it's true because a lot of people have been talking about it. But they were talking about basically something I've talked about a lot, and it's how Linders and Klopp
Mm-hmm.
didn't work together. Not
Mm-hmm.
because it was Linders, it's just because the kind of football Linders wanted to play didn't mesh with what Klopp
Mm-hmm.
wanted to play,
Yeah.
and you basically got a mishmash of neither. You got none of the best bits.
Right.
But this guy did a breakdown on how when it became Linder's ball for basically the last 18 months,
Mm-hmm.
where we would kept getting taken out, where we kept getting breaking down,
Mm-hmm.
high press, the whole intensity thing. And he was saying it was more just uncontrolled chaos. And where we kept losing the same goal after goal, he said exactly the same thing happened against
Mm-hmm.
Al Hilal.
Yeah.
Exactly the same. The two goals they lost against Al Hilal were identical goals that Liverpool would constantly concede playing Pep Linder's football.
Mm-hmm.
So I hope he goes there and drags them down to the level he
Well,
drags everything else down to.
you saw how many goals they've conceded since he's been there.
Mhm.
I mean,
It was much better. Like this guy did 10 minutes on this. He's a
mm-hmm.
brilliant. He's a new channel I just found recently, but he's a really really good. He's not like he's only a small channel. He's not doing it for clicks or anything like that. It's just and he breaks it all down. It's just like the
Mm-hmm.
guy's spot on. It's just you could have put them in red shirts. So
Mm-hmm.
Linder's going there, but quasi they've spent. If you just take it as 2025, right? Just take the year 2025.
Yeah.
So include January and include this summer.
Yeah.
They've spent more than us in 2025.
Mm-hmm.
So they spent around 200 in January, and they spent around
Mm-hmm. People
over
forget
100.
that.
They've spent more than we have,
But yet
and
we
they're
are the
still
one
not
who people
finished.
compares us to, right?
Yeah, they're spending. They're out there. My big players, Marmouche has been a definite hit.
Mm-hmm.
He has. He just everyone's he never. Oh, hang on, what's that? He just scored twice, right? Okay. Oh, he just scored again, did he? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right. This guy just came and just started banging him in like he was
Mm-hmm.
still wearing the Frankfurt shirt. Didn't
Yep.
stop, just broke the form.
Mm-hmm.
So he's been a hit. They got that DM. they can kind of do what they want a little bit in the market.
Yeah.
So they're not going anywhere, man.
Yeah, now City, no, City, I think City, Pep has his girl back, so City will be a formidable uh opponent. I think it's gonna go back to City, Liverpool again. Arsenal will be there about. But two teams that I don't want to sleep on. Chelsea, I think
Mm,
they have that immaturity still in that team. They still haven't got somebody who like somebody who has done it before. Like, even if you were to bring, say, Henderson or even John Terry, people will be like, why do you bring Henderson? Because Henderson is a winner. It's the attitude that he brings to the dressing room, the professionalism that you bring in there. People see that. Whether you are the best player or not, people see that and say, you know what? This guy will go into the trenches with me. He may not be the best player, but he will fight toe to toe with me. That's why he was such a great captain at Liverpool. John Terry, same thing, right? John Terry was not the best, as much as everybody wants to make him as well the best center back of all time. No, he's not. But one thing that John Terry will give you, the man got his head kicked in for the game, for his club. So he will sweat blood and tears. That's why he is. They don't have that, and that's why I always hold them back. Right? Champions League is going to be tough for them. Now Spurs, I see what Spurs wants to do. If they get Kudus, I'll be happy for Kudus. They'll be happy for Kudus because he needs to
very
get out of West
interesting.
Ham.
Very interesting.
You know, Spurs is an interesting thing going on over there. I mean, jumping from 15 to top 4 is going to be too much. I think they will be in the top 10 somewhere, 7, 8, 6, that area. But playing Champions League, especially this new format in the league, it's not going to be easy. Now, Newcastle is the one that I want to see what they do, but they don't want to take the money and they can't even afford to buy any players. What's going on with Newcastle, Irishman?
Yeah, they're failing in a lot of bids.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, I'm not really. I think it looks like they might be getting Anthony Elanga over the line.
Mm.
But a lot of their targets, it's just not working out for them.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have a huge amount of room PSR wise. They're kind of stuck in a bit of a that's why I've been saying it for day one, man.
Mm.
Just sell Isaac for 120, make it
And
your Coutinho moment, and
I
then
was
just you can go and
right.
do whatever you want. And then you can
Yeah.
probably go and spend 200 million on PSR. You bring in 120 on PSR, you
Mm-hmm.
can spend probably 200.
Yeah.
Um, just the one on Chelsea as well. The one thing with Chelsea is they sign all the like this guy Estevao Willian, who they brought in. You know,
From
this
Brazil.
supposed to be the next Ronaldinho, Rivaldo, whatever. But they'll get it right with a few young kids.
Mm-hmm.
But the only thing with Chelsea to me is there's just too much change every
Yeah.
year. Too many. Every year it's another 6 new players.
Mm-hmm.
Another 4 players gone. That's to me is the only thing that maybe hold them back.
Yeah.
Uh, Newcastle. Yeah, if I was a Newcastle fan, I'd be kind of sitting there going, come on, like they're trying to buy James Trafford, 40
Yeah.
million. They're trying to buy Elanga.
Mm-hmm.
They tried to buy João Pedro. They tried to
Mm-hmm.
buy a lot of people, and they're not getting any of them.
Yeah. No, I agree. That's the thing. I'm like, I was talking to I don't know if you know him, John Sinclair. He's a big time Newcastle fan. By the way, big guy Rose Selassie. Good to see you, brethren. Hope you're doing well. People, please hit
I
the like button. People, hit the like button.
I
Like,
did a show once with John. I think I did a show once or twice with John on Rodsham way back in the day. Yeah.
yeah. I'm trying to get him back in there, but right now he's all over the place doing with the lower tier teams. But he should be coming there. He told me, he said, I know for a fact Isak is not going anywhere. I'm like, brother, are you sure about that? Are you sure about that? But yeah, I agree with you. They need Yeah, they are in the Champions League, so they are outside the PSR, but they are very close to the PSR that they can't overspend. That's why João Pedro went to Chelsea because the price was too much for them. And Lingard, they got shut down at the beginning of the summer. Now they're gonna spend more money on him. Um, they had to keep Wilson, I believe, because they can't find anybody. They kept Wilson for one more year. The idea is also they can't give anybody a raise because if you do, there's four players that will say, "Hey, we're going," right? So they are in a very, very tough spot, and they are developing their stadium, which will cost them money. They can use it. Uh, they can use it to kind of cut off their costs. But one thing that Chelsea's getting away with is this Club World Cup. We just saw that they got fined by FFP, and I think it's 30 million plus some more coming. But guess what? They're gonna use the football World Cup, and they've gone far enough where it can take care of those fines. So that's why Chelsea's getting away with it this year. The next year, I don't think so. Um, but Newcastle, yeah, take the money. Get your this is your Coutinho. Go get the right players, and then rebuild again. Because Champions League is not going to be easy. Nobody's going to think that you're gonna surprise people like they did the first round time around where they beat PSG 4-1 or whatever. This time people will know we remember you, we've seen you play before, we're gonna pay attention to you. And then you're gonna come back to the league and play at a high clip. It's not easy. It's not just having a 1-11, 1-13. You need 1-17 to play Champions League and the Premier League. The Premier League already is as hard as it is. So let's see, man. But who's your so far? Who's your like a team that you have your bombastic side eye locking?
What now?
I call it a bombastic side eye. Like you be like, I see what you're doing. Everybody's quiet, but I'm watching you. For me,
I gotta say, with what the news has come out today,
mhm,
I don't know if nobody's talking about it, but I'm looking at Arsenal now, bringing in Zubamendi, bringing in Gyökeres, bringing in
mhm,
Madueke, probably. That's very impressive all of a
mhm.
sudden. I think Cunha and Embuemo
Nah, it's not.
are worryingly good transfers for Man United. They're
They can't
worryingly
afford him.
sensible. They're sensible. Yeah, maybe well, not yet. I suppose. Yeah,
Mhm.
Cunha's there. Embuemo isn't there yet.
Yeah,
But they're just kind of the kind of players from Wolves and Brentford that they should be
yeah.
not trying to buy Real Madrid 31-year-olds, not trying to buy, just go and buy the kind of players that are proven in the Premier League because they only
Mhm.
have league football.
Yeah.
They've no European football. They're just going to be playing every Saturday,
Mhm.
other than the Cups. They don't have to have a big squad. They can get a tight squad together. You get good Premier League proven players like Cunha and Buemo.
Mhm.
I think I think they will be obviously look, they're not going to finish as low as they did this year.
Mm-mm.
That's not going to happen again. But the fact that because we remember, it's not that long ago. Remember when we had no European football? We had a great season, but we're just all we had to we could keep the squad tight, fit,
Yeah.
everyone fresh. I know we it worked out really well for us.
Mhm.
You know, um. So other than them, yeah, who else is doing business? No, just too much chaos at Chelsea, and they've already lined
Yeah,
up.
that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, the Elanga one to Newcastle, I think it is pretty much done. Yeah,
Oh,
55 million.
yeah. The Steve said it's confirmed.
Another guy that wasn't good enough for Man United, apparently. They're bringing, and now they
Mm-hmm.
want to sell Garnacho because he's got a huge attitude problem. They want to sign May or sell Mainu.
Yeah.
Like I said at the start of this season, when it looked like we are pumping all this money in,
Yeah.
I was like, we need to start expecting a raft of pure profit sales. I
Mm-hmm.
was expecting a lot of the kids basically that are PSR free,
Mm-hmm.
to be sold. Kwanzaa, Elliot,
Mm-hmm.
because that was when I saw the amount of money. That was just thinking they're going to be definitely going. The
Right. Right.
Joneses, the Elliots, the Kwanzas,
Mm-hmm.
those kind of guys. You sell a couple, Kelleher went. Even someone like a Calvin Ramsey or a
Mm-hmm.
Bicedic or something like that might get sold. Um, that was always going to be happening for us, I thought,
Mm-hmm.
this year. But Man United are trying to do it so they can. but they're trying to like Mainu they'll sell him and they'll sell a couple of other guys. They'll probably go on and they'll be doing what Forest did. They'll be selling them for 60 million quid in a couple of years.
I agree, and I think Man U they they don't have money either. I mean, Ineos saved them from getting to PSR, but they don't have money. They didn't get the Club World Cup. They don't go into Europe. They're not going anywhere. They have to sell. That's why. Can you imagine being Rashford and some of your number is taken away from you 24 hours before it was announced?
They're desperate to get rid of him and
They're
Sancho. They're
desperate to
on
get rid of him,
huge weight. They're on $500,000 a week, over
bro.
$500,000 a
It
week.
is ridiculous. Yeah, I mean they gotten rid of Ericsson is gone. If Bruno have signed for that Saudi team, that would have helped them a lot, but he's coming back. But yeah, the Man U, I think Man U mid-level team for me right now. Yeah, the club is huge, but the players are not good enough. Where they need to buy players, and they're spending too much money on attack. The problem is their defensive midfield is not strong enough. Right, so we will see how he's going to do it. Maybe he will start in attack and then finish it off with midfield the next year. Like I agree with you, Chelsea's too chaotic. You don't know what they're going to do, and this Club World Cup is going to hit them. Arsenal is very impressive on paper, but the players that they're bringing in, they've never played in the Premier League, so we don't know how well they're going to play. But I'm not going to say they can't do well. I'm just saying.
I'd back Zubimendi. He's a very Arsenal fan.
No, Zubimendi, yes. Zubimendi for sure. Yeah, Zubimendi for sure. Gyökeres, when he played against a team that sits well with a defense, he didn't do well. But big up to Gary. Gary says the wins are excellent. Good job. Good that you didn't burn it. Doolittle Steve said, I read that Chelsea are set to make 38 million US just for reaching. Yes, they're making money. Each stage they reach, I think Madrid is at 98 million already. What's name? Ant said, I don't think it's totally over yet with Isak. Don't worry, it's not over yet. Liverpool, don't worry about Liverpool transfer. Right now, there's a reason why Irishman and myself haven't brought Liverpool in, because we know where our mindset is right now. But in due time, Liverpool take care of Liverpool. I think people often forget Newcastle is the only big in the UK, but they are still a small club on the global stage. Facts.
Oh yeah,
The big six are so big that they can't do a Man City or Chelsea in the league anymore. That's true. If this whatever CPR, SMR, whatever you call it, and if FFP did not institute, Newcastle would have blown everybody out of the water. But right now, they do have the fan base, but they don't have the global reach yet. United and Tottenham will be playing championship football in the bottom three. I hope so, man. I'll go ahead.
No, I was just going to say it's like global reach, kind of like, in Ireland, before English football went truly global, it was massive here, because we're literally, we're an hour away from the UK, we're an hour away from England.
Yeah.
And everyone here was kind of, it started off being big here. So there's huge numbers of football fans here, obviously.
Yeah.
You'd never meet a Newcastle fan.
Right.
Even in Ireland, like it's not like saying they don't have global reach. They haven't even reached Ireland, Newcastle, if you get what I mean. Like I know one person off the top of my head, and I've been around a while, that I can say for sure is a Newcastle fan. They're not even a thing in Ireland, let alone South America, Japan, Africa, Australia. So they have a long way to go, man. They have a long way to go.
Yeah, it's not as easy as people think. See, City, they came in and did it on steroids. See, at least Chelsea had a buzz because they're in London. So people knew about Chelsea a little bit. City, yes, a little bit, but their owners came in and injected them with some steroids. So, boof. If the rules were like that, then yes, Newcastle could have done that. But right now, they have to build it from the ground up. And they were gonna be that club that everybody be like, who? And then eventually they'll be like, oh my God, they really that's that club. Big up to man like Jav, man. Good to see you. Good to see you. I agree with Ro. He said in the next 10 years, all Big Six club will be raising over £1 billion in revenue. That's true. That is very true. Rashford is as good as gone strip of that number 10. Sad. He is twerking for Barcelona right now. I mean, Irishman, while I'm doing this, why don't you start getting your mind ready with what's going on with Barcelona? We were told last time I was on your show, we were saying that they played Diaz.
Mhm.
Now, look what happened. Just give me one moment. AC Milan are willing to big up to Honesty, man. Good to see you, brethren. Good to see you. AC Milan are willing to let Rafaela out for 60 this summer. Yes, sir. Long live DJ20, man. Big up yourself, Honesty. Get well soon, Jamal. Oh, my guy. We will talk about that. We will man, it's been a tough weekend. Can see clubs who go far in that club worker have legs falling off by December hamstring. Yeah, man. He said Kudus only won Spurs. I'm glad that he's going to there. He needs to. He needs to. I don't think he should go to Chelsea. Chelsea won't do him good. We need to stick together and pull and pray to the Almighty. Money come and go. Someone's life is more important than football. RIP Jota Andre. Big up yourself, AR. Thank you for those kind
That's
words.
that's Abdul. That's Abdul. He's always on my show, so big up
Yeah,
Abdul.
man. Thank you so much. Those are what we need to put in the back of our mind every time we get too crazy with this football world. Question for the Irishman: how come LFC is a bit is bit in Ireland? Irishman, give us the history, man. Give us the history.
How come LFC is big in Ireland? Oh,
Mhm,
Jesus. Just lots of reasons, I suppose. Cultural connection. Lots of people went from Ireland to Liverpool. Liverpool was a port
mhm,
city that it's still where one of the ferries from Ireland basically goes to Liverpool. Um, so
mhm,
just a lot of that. I don't know if any real connection, like genuine kind of thing, but just
mhm.
they weren't a London club. They had a different feel to them. They're a Northern club,
Yeah.
emigration, lots of Irish in Liverpool. But just good taste, I suppose, would be the main
Mhm.
thing. Good taste. But no, the two biggest clubs in Ireland. I mean, there's clubs, but it's basically Man United and Liverpool. That's basically Ireland. It's just Man U and Liverpool. That's it. And then there's a few. It's like 45% each, and then the rest is made up with Everton, Spurs, yada yada yada.
Yeah.
But that's it. In northern cities, there's so many links. Like I had to say,
Mhm.
there's so many links between Ireland and Liverpool. Huge Irish population there.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, man. Um. Yeah, I like the part where you say because of the port. Because some time ago, in the early years, that Liverpool port before Manchester United decided to play a hater and also create another port. Liverpool was the premium port in that region, and
yeah.
everything came to Liverpool. So
Mhm.
yeah, man, thank you for that history. AR, thank you again, man. Thank you. All is well, man. We're moving on, and one day at a time. And I hope you and your family are doing well as well. Chrissy Chat to be, he said, "What? Don't worry about the 9, Omar. Don't worry about the 9. Have I let you down all summer? Have I let you down all summer? No. So don't worry. Right now, Liverpool, our mindset is a little bit different right now. So we will get back. We'll get back to it. That's why we're talking about other team. But Irishman, are you ready to talk about what's going on with Barcelona?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
They played Diaz, and then Nico played them. Now Rashford is twerking heavily with if you remember this group, Two Life Crew songs.
Oh, now careful, careful, careful.
That's
It's a
how
family show.
bro.
It's a family show.
That's how what's the name? Rashford is twerking. Those are the beats he's listening, twerking for Barcelona.
That's an OG. That's an OG going on. Two Live Crew. That was like,
Man, that
oh,
was
get
my favorite group, man.
oh, you couldn't have Granny in the room if they came on the TV. That's
Bro,
all I'll say.
in
Yeah.
Ghana, if you get a Two Life Crew song, you were the man because it was very, very hard to get.
Okay.
It was Two
Yeah, you
Life Crew
needed
songs was
hardcore
the
back then. Yeah,
back
you're
then.
not
Yeah.
downloading stuff back then. You know, you had to buy something. You had to physically go and buy a tape or something or some vinyl. Yeah, you couldn't just download everything. Stuff is, you know, when you have to
Yeah.
work for it, man. When you have to work for it,
Hmm.
it was better.
Yeah.
I remember trekking all the way to Dublin to get a record before, and they didn't have it in Tower Records, and they were like, "Who is this kid coming in here to Tower Records asking us for
Yeah.
something we don't have?" And I had to go back the next week. I actually traveled back from Waterford, Dublin to get it the next week. It was just, yeah, when you had to do it like that, man, it
Yeah.
was worth it for the music. That was worth it for the music.
Right.
Um, Barca, though, my bet would be just before we talk about him, my bet would be last day of the transfer window,
Hmm.
10, 12 hours left.
Hmm.
Rashford joins Barcelona on loan.
Alone.
Yeah, because no one's buying him. Those wages are astronomical. Everyone's screwed. They backed themselves into a corner.
Yeah.
Did you hear why Nico turned him down? Did you hear
So
the story about that?
no, I
The
was like,
release?
I was kind of like AR right now, where I was like, I'm not focusing on transfer. But then when you read it, I think Barcelona got scared, or the whole La Liga got scared because of what Balboa owner, or the big brass and Balboa was saying, because he was going around saying, "Bro, these people don't have money; they can't afford to register players. But
Yeah.
every year they seem to find a way to do it. What's going on here?" They kind of put pressure on La Liga, and then Barca was like, "Okay, wait," because the kid was
The
ready to take a pay cut, right? He
yeah.
was trying to do everything to be able to go to Barcelona.
According to
Mhm.
Romano, right?
Yeah.
It was like, and the pressure's been put on, but they're on a 1-to-1 ratio at the moment, a 1-to-1 system with
Hmm.
La Liga. That's in there. I mean, that's stuff you don't even talk to the league. You put it in via an app. There's literally an app that they use where they put their numbers in, and then
Hmm.
literally you'll come back to them going no, yes or no. So
Hmm.
for every euro they bring in, they can spend a
Yeah.
euro. But Nico Williams was rightly worried, rightly concerned, I think, about the fact that look at Danny Olmo. They
Hmm.
bought him. They weren't able to register him and play him for 6 months.
Yeah.
Look at Arda Turan. There's three or four other players over the last few years that they bought,
Yeah.
and the guys have had to sit on the bench because Barca can't register them.
Yeah.
So Nico wasn't getting an assurance from Barca that this wasn't going to be an issue,
Hmm.
right? There was no kind of clear, no, we've got X amount of money, which means we can guarantee that we can register. Oh, we can sign you. Like you can
Hmm.
sign anybody you want.
Right.
You can sign anyone you want, but you can't register 'em. So he wanted a clause in his contract that said
Hmm.
if he hadn't been registered by
Yeah.
Barcelona by the 30th of August, he
Hmm.
wanted a release clause that would allow him to leave for free,
Mm.
for nothing. Because he's saying you're not fucking my career up by turning around on the
Oh.
first of September and saying, sorry, Nico, we weren't able to sell Danny Gomez last
Right.
summer.
Right.
So now we can't register you because we're 10 grand short. You can't play till January.
Hmm.
He said, no, 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 no. If I want a guarantee that, like, with enough time left in the window,
Yeah.
you haven't registered me, I can leave for free. So
Right.
instantly have it. And they just said, no, we're not doing that. So he said, right, I'm signing you a 10-year deal at Bilbao.
Hmm.
That was, and that's according to Romano. He was like, why not? His agents probably said, we're not going to have an almost situation where
Hmm.
our kid can't play because you messed your stuff up and can't register him. And they just walked away then. And it's right. That's what they should be doing because they've messed up Danny Olmo.
Hmm.
Arda Turan's career never recovered from that. He
That
basically never played
it
top
took him
level
what,
again.
almost 6 months for them to be able to register him.
Yeah, just because they couldn't sign some kid in the last few minutes or sell some kid in the last few minutes, they're selling off these random youngsters just to
Hmm.
make up enough percentage on to be able to register the next guy. And it's just like we need an extra 5 grand in the wages. It's like you haven't got it. They're a joke, quasi. They're a
They're a
joke.
joke, man. And the funny thing is, I know La Liga is trying to help him so that, because they are the big source of income for the tourism. So they always kind of like look away a little bit, a little bit, a little bit. And I think this time some of the clubs are putting pressure on. That's why Madrid has been going on for free, because of that stadium. Madrid also don't have money. They don't have that, what they call it, cash blanc that they used to have back in the day. That's why they built that stadium. but they have to pay it back. But the thing with Madrid is they leverage it with their brand. So players can say, yeah, I can go there for free and play for Madrid. But they need players and they can't afford them like they used to. They have to sell to buy. Sell to buy, huh? Yeah, but
Remember when that was a yeah.
you remember those days.
Well,
People said it was
FSG, they're
Liverpool.
only sell to buy.
FSG.
Like,
Yep.
yeah, guess what? Fuck, everyone has to sell to buy these days.
Now everybody's selling to buy. Even you come to the EPL, everybody's selling to buy.
But then
Um,
the people are saying, "Oh, how are Chelsea able to spend so much money?" And it's like you obviously haven't looked. Just look at who they've
they are the
sold.
biggest sellers in the entire
They'll have
pyramid.
sold 80 million quid's worth of kids you've never heard of. They did it this. They sold a kid this summer, quasi. They
Mm,
sold a kid for 20 million quid, and I
and
have
nobody knew who
never
he
heard
was.
of him. I've never heard of him. They
Nobody
sold
knew.
him to someone in Germany.
Mhm.
No idea who he is.
Because
Like,
if it
and that's how
wasn't,
they're doing it. They
yeah, that's
brought
what
in, like,
Chelsea.
when I looked at it, 68 million. They brought in 68 million this summer just in selling kids that have never played for him and a guy I'd never heard of. That's how they're able to spend money.
Yeah, and they sold their women's club to their holding company, I believe. And then no, they sold
Mhm.
their, is it a women club or they sold their hotel
They sold a hotel to themselves
to
as well,
themselves? Yeah.
yeah. And then I think Villa are trying to do the same thing with the women's
Hmm.
team because Villa are in trouble as well.
Yeah,
I've
Bill
been
in
trying to
trouble.
point this out. I've been trying to point this out for years. People have been talking about how good Villa are and what the money they put in. Villa would have gone bankrupt if they hadn't gotten promoted the season they did.
Yeah.
It was between them and someone else, Derby
Mm-hmm.
County. It was between them and Derby County who would get
Mm-hmm.
promoted. And both of them were basically on a knife edge. Derby County have never recovered
Yeah.
from that. They just dropped down. Villa got promoted, got the goose that laid the golden egg. But guess what Villa had to do? Villa had to sell Villa Park. Villa had to sell
The
their
Reds.
stadium
Yep.
to not go bankrupt. Can you imagine if FSG had to
Sell
sell
Anfield.
Anfield?
We were trying to change the name. They changed the rights to the name, and we saw how the fans revolted. And FSG said, "I'm going to sell Anfield to." Oh my God, we'll be paying rent. Not yeah. Duluth Steve. Yeah, they sold the hotel. See, this is the part where if, and I don't want to go there. It's boring to talk about it. But usually Chelsea has a company. Chelsea itself is a company, and then they have the parent company, and then you have the owners. So before you get to the owners, there's almost three different levels of ownership around there. That's why we keep saying Liverpool is always in a good stand because it's Liverpool and FSG. Chelsea is not like that, right? They had to for them to spend all that money. That's I think something that Abraham used to do, so that he could circumvent how much money he spent. So they sold the club, the hotel to the parent company. So Chelsea, the company don't own the hotel. The parent company of Chelsea owns the hotel. So Chelsea made money. I know it sounds diluted, but that's how it is right now. So that they could bypass what's it called, FFP and PSR.
Yeah.
It's a just a high level of accounting trick, just like Irishman is saying. It's yeah, that's how they beat the tax system. That's how they beat all these rules. That's how when you do
You see,
business, they tell you don't ever spend your own money, spend somebody else's money.
well, Quasi, you see, I think that's what happened
Mm-hmm,
when they bought Dewsbury Hall because
mm-hmm,
someone told them that Dewsbury Hall in Leicester was available for 30 million and they thought they were buying a hotel.
mm-hmm.
I mean, I think that's what happened. I don't think they
Yep,
realized they were buying a footballer.
the football.
I think they thought Dewsbury Hall was a hotel, one of those little country retreats. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, we'll buy that. Oh yeah, that sounds good. We'll buy that. Yeah, yeah. I don't think
Next
they
thing they
realized it
have
was
a
a
whole
footballer.
football team. Yeah,
But
man.
no,
So,
it's like the Man United one. Man United is if you, some people say blah blah blah. Man United are in X amount of debt.
mm-hmm,
Um, they're not. There's a company called Red Holdings,
mm-hmm,
and then there's Manchester United basically,
mm-hmm,
and the company called Red Holdings is the one that has most of the debt on it.
mm-hmm,
Manchester United have only pretty much got a small amount of debt,
mm.
and they're still clearing. 700-800 million a year. We've
Yeah.
only just passed them in revenue. They
Mm-hmm.
make a shit ton of money. They could get relegated and still make a shit ton of money.
Mm-hmm.
So when you look at it, they actually do have a lot of money to spend. Club like, and you're like, how is that working out? And it's like, there's just Manchester United are so big, and they've been ahead of the game for so long commercially.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They just make like it took us this long. Last year we
15
overtook
years.
them. I think this year we'll overtake them again in
Yeah.
commercial revenue, but we've had to go hard to the wall, winning stuff.
Yep.
Being a top side to just get above them, and they're in the doldrums and have been
Mm-hmm.
for years.
Yep.
And there's still like Madrid. Someone said about a billion. Madrid are making about 850 a year, 850 million commercially.
Mm-hmm.
Man City is next with around 800. Then you've got clubs like PSG, us, Manchester United, blah blah blah, a couple of the other teams. But those big teams, man, they can go 4 or 5 years without a lot of success. Real Madrid, Barcelona, and
Mm-hmm.
still be making 700-800 million a year commercially.
Yeah.
No, not many people can touch that.
Yeah. And Man United, what is saving them right now is because they're on the stock exchange. If they that thing comes back to private own, that's when the problem will start. They yeah. As much as the club is poorly run, their accountants know what they're doing. So it's helping them, like Irishman is saying. They have a company, Red Holding, that is kind of leveraging their debt. So it's not all of it on the club. The only reason why they are in trouble is because Manchester United, the club, have to do well. If not, then they're in trouble. That's why they can't spend as they wanted to spend, right? Because we're going by yearly. But as a market global thing, they are juggernaut. They're big juggernaut. It's
Yeah,
ridiculous. It's how big they are. But the fact that they're struggling on the field, it's been 15 years? Eventually, it's gonna collapse. You remember AIG? Crazily,
do
it
you
was
remember
the
Louis Van Gaal? Do you remember Louis Van Gaal? Don't go
yep.
there.
Hmm.
Saying to Ten Hag, don't go there. It's
Don't
not
go
a
there.
football club. It's a
Club
commercial
for
club.
sure. Hmm.
Don't go there if you want football. That's the thing. It's been run incredibly from a commercial point of view
Hmm.
since basically since
The
the
90s.
Premier League hit.
Yeah.
Yeah, since the Premier League hit, they got lucky with the class of '92.
Mm.
Um, Not lucky, but they all for them all to arrive at the same time. That
Yeah.
doesn't happen very often.
Hmm.
That happened basically at the birth of the Premier League, on the birth of Sky. You
Hmm.
had David Beckham, you had Ferguson. It all came together at the right time for them.
Hmm.
Um, and but we all used to laugh at them. Oh, they've got another cheese partner, another tractor
Hmm.
partner, and all the while wondering how come they can spend all this money on these players.
Hmm.
And people saying, "Oh, it's just because Old Trafford is bigger and they can." It's like, yeah, but they're
Hmm.
spending way more. It's because they were out there getting partnerships in Asia,
Hmm.
Australia, America, and we were sitting here. Oh, we're Liverpool. We're a real club. We don't cheapen
Yeah.
ourselves to do that shit. Next thing you know, you're 15 years behind them. They're making 3 times what you were making every year, and now
Hmm.
you have to catch up. So, but from a footballing standpoint, they've been run like a circus the
Yep.
last, well, since basically since Fergie left.
Hmm. Yeah, and this is the part where people sometimes when we say FSG has done well, some of you guys don't want to hear it because we were in the dump. Like technically, we were going bankrupt. First, it was going to be administration, and then we were going to just basically end up like Portsmouth. And FSG came in. Yeah, you could say, well, they got a good deal. Yeah, they got a good deal and made it better. That's the part where people seems to forget. It's like you buying a car and you have a choice to make the car better, or somebody say like you buy a house, you get a good deal on a house, it's a fixer upper, and you just like, oh, I got a good deal, so I'm just going to watch it go down because I didn't spend too much money on it. Now they came in and they made it better. Right now, Liverpool is a getting close to that global juggernaut where Manchester United. They get into that realm. They're not there yet, but they get in there. I mean, look at how this year alone, players like Verts, Kirkers, Frimpong, all of them said, I'm going to Liverpool. Now we're hearing that what's the name is also saying that. But we're not going to talk about Liverpool transfers. But before we get out of here, who was I? I know the Rashford thing was funny because he wants to go there. But I agree with you. He will go on loan. That would be the easiest way for them. Now David Luiz is my go to Manchester United. However, when I was on your show, the Irish Anfield Irishman channel, me and is it Delante, we had a debate over a central gentleman by the name of Paul Pogba. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Now Paul Pogba got a chance to continue his career. He cannot go back and do what he was doing before because personally, I feel like he cheated the game. Now he's gotten a second opportunity. You are still in your 20s. And this is the part where I want.
No, he's not. He's 32, man.
He's 32? Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, he's 32.
Okay.
Yeah, he's 32.
My bad. Remember, this is the part that I forgot to tell Delante. When they went to that World Cup, that people thought that he was the reason that they won, but I think he was just maybe one of the players. That dressing room told him that they don't want that circus in the camp. The players told him, and him being also a good, respectful person, he abide by it, and next what? Kept all that circus outside. And that was the best game that we've seen him play since he was a young player in Juventus. So I'm hoping that he's going to, the second opportunity that he got, he's going to ball out as much as he could possibly do. And instead of doing the social media, trying to be fame and celebrity, this is the part where these athletes don't get. And Michael Jordan said it best. He said, if you play well, everything will come. And these days, some of these players are doing it the other way around. Hence the reason why I feel like a lot of players have cheated the game. I'll give you one. Pogba was one of them. Balotelli was one of them. Neymar is the biggest of all. Because the game gave them more than what they've given to the game. If I'm looking at Messi, Ronaldo, I'm looking at Mo Salah, I'm looking at who else? Give me a name. Even Ibrahimovic, right?
Oh, like Lewandowski.
Lewandowski, these kind of guys, they're giving a lot to the game. The same way the game has given back to them. You cannot tell me Neymar, Balotelli, and Pogba did the same thing. They cheated the game. Pogba has a chance to ratify that. So I'm hoping that he does. But good luck to him. He got a second chance, and you saw how emotional he was, and you could tell that he knew that. So what do you think he's going to do when he gets there? I mean, I think it's a great place for him.
It's yeah, you talk. I mean, this guy's life, you couldn't make it up. Kidnapped by his own brother. I mean,
crazy.
Doping tests, 100 million pound moves. This guy's life, he just couldn't make it up. And yeah, like you said, you saw the emotion. An absolute, complete and utter enigma of a player. Because when you saw him, I think, especially when he was in that Juventus midfield and he had Pirlo behind him, I think, and Marquisio beside him, he was able to kind of do his stuff. In the French midfield, he had Kante or someone behind him. He'd have Matuidi, he'd have all these boys, and he'd be able to do his stuff. And he could look like royalty. He could look, he had everything. 6'4", but could dribble past people, just everything. But it just wasn't enough, often enough. Like, I suppose you talk to Juve fans, they might say he was awesome for us. And there was that one game, I think people talk about for Man United when he got 4 assists in the game. I think that was the first game in his second year, or first or second game. He's going to kick on now.
Yeah,
but just never really came together for him. Yeah, definitely like a real bling player. Didn't have the right grounding, maybe.
And what's the name? Soon as saw it, it's just that he could not relate to that generation. So everybody felt like he was a little bit too harsh.
Souness probably should have Souness was right. but he probably should have just chilled out about it a little bit.
Yes, he should have
Because
found
it
a
just,
way to say it better.
yeah, he just kept, and obviously, like, but he was kept being asked about it, and he'd be kind of a vicious circle, that he hates Pogba. It's just, no, he just kind of pointing out, like, the guy just doesn't do it enough because he's that kind of guy. But it did come across as a bit kind of hey,
Yeah,
um, which is unfortunate. But look, he's interesting little thing they're building there. They've got Ansu Fati from Barcelona. Hopefully, he can go there and rebuild his career. It didn't work out well for him at Brighton. They've got Pogba there now. They brought in a couple of other interesting players I've forgotten. But Monaco is always, a great. It's a great little spot. So look, it's a lovely place to live. If you want to come back to football, having not worked in a while, it's tax free. Nice contract, tax free.
Money.
Yeah, there you go. But Ansu Fati is another kind of a shame. See, when I talk about Lamal, people are talking about Lamal, and I'm like, this guy's 17. He's only freaking 17. How many times have we seen this? This guy needs to stop playing 60 games a season, but he will next year and the year after that and the year after. But in 10 years, he's only going to be 27, quasi. It's crazy.
His body's going to feel. His body's going to feel like he's 47.
Yeah.
The amount of football he's going to be playing.
Yeah. All these Club World Cups and World Cups. And yeah, I just worry for the kid. I just
and just to even say that, back to what we were talking earlier about Musiala, that injury, man.
The what body are they saying on it? Are they talking about a season? Is he going to be out for the season? He's going to be out
half of the season. Half of the season. He'll be back by February.
It kind of sounds like what happened to Harvey Elliott.
Exactly the same. Exactly. Right. I saw the picture. It's broken. I think it's the ankle that is out of. It broke. It came out.
Well, that's better because it's better to dislocate. Apparently, it's better to dislocate it than break it.
Break it, yeah. I think it came out. The part that is painful is the ligament that is damaged.
Yeah, it'll be the ankle ligaments, but it's better for it to dislocate than to actually break. Because if you break, you have to rebuild it. So that might.
I mean, you rather want the bone to break because the bone will be healed stronger than before, right? The problem is the mental. The ligament is oh my god. Yeah. Ligament is the worst, especially we are about to get into the winter. Yeah,
but he's the kind of player that relies on that burst of pace,
lateral movement. That is going to. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm sad, man. Musiala, that's my guy, man. I saw the injury. I'm like,
Well, I haven't seen it quite, and I've seen a lot of so like some people are saying like it was Donnarumma's fault. Like, was it?
Well, it's one of those things that happens all the time. Right, it happens all the time. It's just, I think he stepped wrong, because you can't just blame Donnarumma. It's also the defender. The defender also gave him a shoulder, right? So his momentum is falling, and then Donnarumma is going for the ball. So he probably rolled his ankle, and the weight of Donnarumma made it worse. So it's a combination
of. He's a very big guy. Donnarumma
and he's a 6'7". He is huge. So it's a kind of like a series of unfortunate bad things that happen. And
I know what you mean. It's one of those things where you see it 5 times in a game, but if it just happens at that one time,
and then that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. He said Barcelona going to kill Yamal with games. I agree. And he plays for Spain too, so don't forget that.
Barcelona has the main man.
Yeah,
he's already like the main man, first name on the team sheet.
You know what? Thank you for bringing that. Yamal and Barcelona. Why is Messi fans already threatening about this kid? All he did is post when he said that he was going to take the number 10 shirt. All he did was post Maradona. And Messi fans was like, we see that you don't like Messi. I'm like, what the French?
Okay, so he posted Maradona instead
of Messi. He posted Maradona. He posted like Maradona saying that, like Maradona was number 10. People seem to forget that football started before Messi, but it seems like people think that football started when Messi started playing football. And Messi fans are starting to feel a little bit threatened. Listen, at the age that he is, Messi was not doing what Messi. People think you guys are looking at Messi, the final product, and then you compare him to everybody else. That's not how you do it. You have to go by stages. He's 17 years old. What was Messi doing at 17? That's the comparison you have to make. Now, if he turns 21, 23, and he can score 60 goals like Messi was doing, then yes, you have the point. But Messi fans, calma. He's only a kid, man.
Oh,
Uh,
at 17, he was just about to break into that Barcelona side. He was in it by the time he was 18, but
mhm.
Messi was just about to break into it. He wasn't. But yeah, Lamal's already won La Liga. He's won the Euros with
Europe.
Spain. Been player of the. He'll probably be young. He'll be the what's the golden boy. He'll be that this year. He's
Yeah.
But I like. I'd love to see Musiala like this at the age, or not Musiala, Lamal like this, and know that he's 20 or 21.
Bro, he has 10 years about to dominate. 27 is where your peak is.
I know he's not. I don't think he's going to get there if they keep playing him like this. I think at
That's what I'm worried
27
about.
he could
That's
be
why
playing in Saudi Arabia.
I'm so worried about it because
Yeah,
and the way he plays with no care. So sometimes it's easy for somebody to come at you.
back in the day he's getting kicked off the pitch. It
Oh
won't be
yeah,
so bad these days, but back
shh.
in the day he's getting snapped in half every day,
Oh
man.
yeah.
You
Yeah,
don't trick me like that. Bang,
yeah.
you're out the door. See ya.
A whole grandfather, you're gonna embarrass me
Yeah.
like that? Shoot.
But remember what you were talking about. We are talking about Athletic Bilbao earlier on. You were talking about
Mhm.
Maradona at Barcelona, which I think a short career at Barcelona, not a very successful one, but still,
Yeah.
I won't lie. But there's a famous guy called Goycochea,
Gakacha. Yeah,
Goico,
yeah, yeah.
Goicoechea. They called him the Butcher of Bilbao.
Mm-hmm.
He played for Athletic Bilbao, Nico Williams' team. And there's a game where he literally tried to break Maradona in
Mm-hmm.
half.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of the worst. If you watched it now,
That's where the fight started.
there's probably about four red card challenges in it.
That's where
Four
the fight
straight
started. He
reds.
kicked people in the head. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
why
Like,
Maradona got kicked out of the Barcelona because
yeah.
they were trying to break him. That's the thing
This
that
guy
people
was trying to
don't
break his
get.
legs.
They
Yeah,
were
this
trying
guy
to
was
break
literally
his
trying to break his
leg.
legs.
That's what they were playing. Yeah.
Mm,
He
yeah.
went into
The
the World
Butcher of
Cup with
Bilbao, man.
yep. He went into the World Cup with one size shoe bigger than the other one. In 86, whatever you saw in 86, one of his shoes were bigger than the other one because his ankles were this big. Yeah, man, the football game, I'm glad that it's starting protecting the players because it didn't
Mm.
protect Maradona. It didn't protect Ronaldo. Well, Ronaldo was too fast for the game. The game did not
That's the other
protect him.
one. But
The game did
Quasi,
not
that's
protect
the
him.
other one. He gets, I
Mm-hmm.
think you should kind of even it up. Um,
Mm-hmm.
all the England fans, you talk about that game, the England fans talk about the hand of God.
Yeah.
How he cheated them. He scored one of the greatest goals of all time, yes,
Yep.
in that game against England. Um, and he scored a handball game, right?
Yeah.
I would say go back and actually get you can get that game, 90 minutes of it, and go
Mm-hmm.
back, right? And tell me how many red card challenges there are on Maradona. There's about five of them. There's about five of them. England players tried to kick
They
that
were
guy off
kicking the
the
hell
pitch.
out of him. And then even
If they're talking about the handball, if there was a rules today, England would have been playing with six men.
oh yeah, the game would have stopped the game. They would have stopped the game. Like even what was it? The final against Germany. They punished him. They like he couldn't touch the ball. And then what should have happened to England is what happened to Cameroon when they played him the next World Cup in Italia 90,
Hmm.
where they got like what three two red cards and five yellow cards on him. That's how
I've got
crazy it
like
is.
quasi, one of the Italian 90 is my World Cup. Like you have to be if you're from Ireland, right?
Mm-hmm.
You'll realize that if you were around the time, like Italia 90 wasn't just a World Cup, it's one of
Mm-hmm.
the biggest cultural events that's ever happened in Ireland. It was
Mm-hmm.
huge in Ireland. Italia
Yeah.
90 is legendary. It's just written
Mm-hmm.
into our fucking constitution at this stage.
Yeah.
And still one of the funniest things probably the funniest thing I've ever seen in football was the Canija. The
Oh,
foul from the
Canija.
Cameroons on
Oh,
Canija
yeah.
when the first guy tried to get him and he skipped past him, the second guy tried to skip past him and he jumped over him, and then the third guy just comes in and just goes, "Nah, man," and
You don't
just
jump it.
flat, he just takes him completely out.
Man, those
It's one
days,
of the
man,
funniest things I've ever
bro,
seen in football, man.
those days, man, that Maradona was playing what do you call hurdles.
Yeah.
You
Kenija
play
got past two. That third guy,
third
no,
one is
you're not
waiting.
getting past me. That third guy was like, "You're not getting past me," and he sent him flying about 4 feet in the air.
Man.
Absolutely hilarious, man. One of the best things and that just set the tone for that World Cup.
Hmm.
That I could think that might have been the first, might have won the first or second game.
Yeah.
But yeah, just absolutely brilliant.
Now Italian 90, can you imagine that Italian 90, Maradona is playing and Italians were supporting Maradona?
Yeah,
That's how big that tournament was. And he came in, they were like, there's no way because he beat you. They call it that he beat Europe by himself in 86. And then he came to Italian 90 and beat two powerhouses, and they were like, nah, we can't let you beat three of them. We can't let you beat three after what you did in 86. Yeah, man. Yeah, that game. He said, are we going to keep Nunes, Chiesa, and Diaz? Yeah. I don't want to talk about Liverpool transfers because it's you know what the deal is. That's why we're talking about everybody else. But don't worry about Liverpool. What I'm gonna tell you is don't worry about Liverpool. Liverpool in great hands. We will be fine. All right. Right now, we just want to make sure our guys' mental state is where it needs to be. That's why we need
someone
to back.
said earlier, Quasi, let the football take care of itself.
Yes, let football take care of itself. That's exactly let Liverpool take care of itself. Let Liverpool take care of itself. Every other person will give everybody else credit. Right? Big up to Dustin. He said, I won't lie, I'm not a fan of that Daruma tackle. Too strong. Yeah, I just saw what MK2 said. He broke his tibia, which
Oh
is the
yeah,
little
I
bone.
did read that.
Yeah. So that one, it grows. It's the little one is annoying, but the part that is annoying is the ligament and then his mental part when he comes back. That is the most, the bone will grow stronger. It's they're probably going to put some plates in there. So he's going to be a bionic man.
Has he ever had an injury? I know I know you're a big fan. Is this his first ever big
That's his first
knock
time big
step
injury. Yeah.
back?
Yep.
Okay.
And he just came back from an injury himself.
Okay.
Sad, man. He said Robo will kick him at Anfield next season. How many midfielders do Arsenal need to get? I don't know, man. Them
One more.
one more, I
I think.
guess. His goal against England, not the hand of God. Well, after the hand of God, then he scored that goal to shut everybody up. And
Do you remember
everybody
the
was,
goal against Belgium in the same
oh, the
competition?
one
I
against
guess
Belgium.
almost as good.
Six
Almost as good.
players. Have you seen
Yeah.
the still picture?
Yeah, where there's like the whole Belgium
The
team in
whole
front of him,
team
and he's
was
just yeah.
Diogo was something, man. Maradona got fouled to death in Italian 90. Yep. They were trying to kill him. That guy. Another crazy one is Chelsea fans complain about Barca game in 09. Go back. Chelsea also got away with a lot of Chelsea was a roughhousing. They had to change the way they were. They were like what's that team that nobody wants to go there and play? Millwall? Millwall, right?
It's one of the rougher ones, yeah.
Yeah. People don't. I think Chelsea at one point was almost like that until they got cleaned. They cleaned their act up.
Oh yeah, they were a very for a part of London that is incredibly posh.
Mm-hmm.
Their fans were, those like early 80s hooligan movies.
Mm-hmm.
They were Chelsea fans
Well,
and
just like that.
Millwall fans. Millwall fans were famous for it,
Mm-hmm.
for being the hardest, but Chelsea fans were right up there, which was
Mm-hmm.
like say you go down there now, you go to Chelsea now, and it's like Lamborghinis and Porsches and
Yeah.
£10 million apartments.
Like
But
nothing ever happened over there. Yeah, man. But big up to all of you guys who took your time to come in to check in. Big up to Anfield Irishman. Please, please, please go to his channel and Subscribe, people. You have to go to his channel, subscribe, because you don't know what you're missing. I'm telling you, people, I don't associate myself with too many people. The people I associate myself with, they are the real deal. And this man here, it's one of the hardworking content creators on YouTube right now, especially on the football side of things. People, please, please, please go subscribe to him, man. He's one of the day ones of Quasi Bowl TV. We are here because of him. So please, please, please go subscribe to his channel. And he does almost call-in shows almost every day. So if you have something to say, this is your chance. I'm waiting until I get 500, and I believe we are 10 away. So people, subscribe to Quasi Bowl so we could start our call-in show so we can talk to the people. I'm tired of being the only one talking, man. But please hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button. Thank you so much, Irishman, for coming in. This show has been better because you are here, and I'm glad that my community are doing well. All right, that's more important, man. It's more important, and I think we've done very well not talking about Liverpool transfer. What do you think, Irishman?
Yeah, we should do more of that.
Yeah, because we
We
keep
should do
repeating the
more.
same thing. We keep repeating the same thing about Liverpool transfer.
Yeah.
But I like this though. Me and you, I think we got something going. Whether it's on my show or your show, we need to keep doing this. Talk about everything else except Liverpool.
Well, I've got a show in half an hour. Anyone here is welcome to come on. I've got a show at 6:30, 20 to 7. In about half an hour, I'll be going live. So anyone wants to call in and say hello, feel free.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you for everybody, man. Like I said, at the beginning of the show, for people who didn't hear us, we spoke about our brother, family member, Diogo, and his brother, Andre. We also heard that Ian Rush brother also passed away, and of course one of African's own, Peter Rufai. So during these hard times, people united. It didn't matter whether you're from Manchester United, Everton, Chelsea, Real Madrid, Barcelona, MLS, Austria, MMA, music concerts. Because of tragedy, all of us came together, and I'm hoping that we can continue that trend. We have a lot of time to banter, rivalry. We have all that, but that's supposed to keep our mind away from the real world. But because of tragedy, we all came together. And sports, I believe sport is always the best avenue to bring people together. The World Cup is about to start, and we know how the World Cup brings people together. I could speak about my continent. You play against one African country, you playing against the whole continent.
Who's
And I
the top
wish
African side at the moment? Who's the top? Who's in, like we're talking about Nigeria or Iran being like that? Who's
Nigeria
the
is struggling right now. Morocco is the
their
powerhouse right
top
now.
team?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
Morocco is the top team. Ghana is creeping up. They're doing well. I think they need 4 points to qualify. But maybe it could be just the group. But in terms of powerhouse is Morocco, Senegal, Ivory
What's
Coast
what
is.
what's up with Egypt? Like Egypt have got Salah and Marmoush. What's holding them back? Are they a
The
bit light
problem with
after that?
Egypt is they have good attackers. Their midfield is not as good, but they can defend very well. Right, as a squad, they
Just
can.
a little bit.
Yeah, they need a little bit of Mamouche in midfield type of players.
They had El Neni was probably
El
one of the lads.
Nani and Egypt. That's why when people say Salah, I'm like, bro, if you were to go back in the day and see how strong Egypt was, you would be saying something different. Irishman shows are not just about football. That's my man. That's my man. South Africa is on the app. I hope so, man. South Africa, Bafana, you guys been quiet in a long time, since 2010. When Chabalala scored that goal, we haven't heard anything from Bafana, man. So, but yeah, African, I think you might see some surprises. There's some Cinderella teams one or two that might pop up. But the
So
powerhouse will always be there. The powerhouse, I think This year they're giving us how many countries? 10? Let me think. Yeah, I think it's how many? I think Africa is getting an extra three more, I believe, and then one of them will have to play intercontinental to make it. If they do win it, they can add some more to it. So you possibly will see the top five African teams plus some two or three Cinderellas. So this this World Cup, I think, is gonna be a fantastic show, man. But we will see. We will see because it ushers the multi-country hosts, right? This is the first time there's going to be three countries hosting it. The first one was Japan, Korea.
Mhm.
Yeah, this time it's three. And I think the next following World Cup is also going to be three: Saudi Arabia, Morocco, and somebody else. Yeah,
Oh
so
no, the one after that is the crazy. The one after that is the one that they're having in four
oh,
countries,
four.
so
Sheesh.
that they can give Saudi Arabia the next one, because they
Oh, okay,
each have
okay.
to get. So every federation has to get one,
Right.
but the Saudis wanted one.
But for
So
themselves.
basically, I think it's Portugal, Morocco, and a
Yes.
South American country, and
Yes,
somewhere
because
else like that.
is it Uruguay?
Somewhere, yeah, it's Uruguay, Argentina, Morocco, and
Yes.
Portugal, I think.
Yeah.
Because Uruguay and Argentina are basically on the board. Uruguay is based in Argentina.
Hmm.
It's a tiny little bit at the end,
Hmm.
so you can have there. And I think yeah, Portugal, Morocco. So basically, what they've done is they've given a European team, as an African team, and a South American team a World Cup, which they all
Yes.
have to get because Qatar just had a World Cup, but Saudi
Yeah.
want one now, and Saudis basically are in charge of everything. So they've done it so they can just give the Saudis one. Then it's so we all know what's happening.
That one is going to be crazy.
Can
I
you
think that
imagine
one
getting
they'll.
tickets for that? Your team plays in Portugal and they get the semi final. You have to fly to Argentina, and then you've got to fly back to Morocco to see him and then you got to go back to
That's like
Uruguay. Come
five
on, man.
different time zones, man. Five different time zones. Deluded. Ghana needs only 4 points. Don't worry. We are back, man. No more of this getting beat by Comoros, Highland, and all those type of things. Ghana is back. Should we watch? Just watch that space. We just need 4 points and then we good. And the thing is the
I do have
the
one more question to ask you. I know you
yes,
want to go,
sir.
but I do have one more. Why is it? What's been going on, right? So we talked about Nigeria earlier on, like sort of 94-ish.
Mm-hmm.
Now, my African geography isn't amazing, but I'm pretty
Mm-hmm.
sure that Nigeria, since then, the main teams, Nigeria, Ghana,
Mm-hmm.
Senegal,
Mm-hmm.
Ivory Coast, they're all pretty much in the same part of Africa, right?
Mm-hmm.
So why is it all kind of been concentrated there for those kind of why were they always the powerhouse? Is it because they're on the same like
Well,
what is it that's made that the most
so okay, Africa, you split it into four, right? So each quadrant used to have their own sect. It's kind of like the West always was the powerhouse because they're the strongest, faster, better players, um, and then a lot of concentrated Europeans, especially the English and the French, because Senegal was a French colony, Ghana, British colony, Nigeria, British colony, I believe. Yeah, and then the other ones, they came in after. But what the West did was they fell on their laurels. They thought that they were going to be the best forever and ever because the only team that could use to challenge the West was Egypt.
yeah.
And then, once in a while, you have Algeria or Morocco come, will show something. But then they fell asleep. And then East Africa started slowly creeping up. But East Africa was never strong enough. They were just competitive, like Arsenal. South Africa is the baby. They just started in the 90s. So
That's
most of
just
the
money, yeah.
yeah, because and this is the reason why is because in the East and South they focus more on rugby. That's why Kenya plays rugby 7 in America, and then South Africa also, rugby.
Oh, South Africa is a huge rugby country.
rugby country. Yeah,
It's like Australia. Like
yep.
nobody in Australia gives a shit about football. They care about rugby.
Rugby, yeah, Australian football. Zimbabwe, same thing. Zambia, all those. I call them the later British colonies that independent was later. They were more of rugby players compared to the other side. You would have think the West would have been more of a rugby team because they are the bigger and stronger people. But for some reason, it flipped. But now those West Africans, and then cricket also was part of it, yes. And that was because the East Africans had the Indians over there too. So that was what they were also known for. But then West Africa, they fell on their laurels. Like Nigeria, you can't consider Nigeria as a powerhouse only because they get beat by some of these small teams all the time. We already see what Ghana happened to Ghana in both AFCONs. But now Africa is becoming more spread out, where the sports, everybody's good in sports. Man, look at even in basketball. Look what the Sudanese did to America last Olympics. They almost, it was a preseason game, but they almost beat them. And that was unheard of. So it's just right now, sports. Everybody, sports has grown. It's not for the rich anymore. People are recognizing that if you develop a genre of sport, you will find talent. Hence the reason why NBA is doing NBA Africa now. What's the name? Red Bull has a whole academy in Ghana. I think Juventus also just opened one. Even Liverpool are thinking of opening one in Ghana right now. So these rich people sports now are being brought to so-called developed countries, and people are putting money into it. So now you getting better players coming in because the talent, everybody has the same talent. Is how you develop it.
It is just about money, isn't it? To put into
Yes,
coaching and development and pitches and
exactly,
all that stuff.
exactly.
If you can have because I'm imagining, like, without wanting to be kind of paint, but if you live in certain parts of Egypt, it's probably not very easy to play football in the desert in the summer. In North Africa, it's not like in Ireland. There's pitches for days. You can get green fields everywhere. It's like, over there, you need infrastructure, you need money, you need all of that. So no, it's just those teams just always seem to, like Senegal. If it wasn't Senegal, it was Ivory Coast. If it wasn't Ivory Coast, it was Ghana. If it wasn't Ghana, it was Nigeria. They all had those real strong kind of, and they all had their little, like Senegal had their World Cup.
Yep.
With Juve and Joe and all that, and Cisse. Then the other, then you had the Toure brothers with Ivory Coast, and they all had their own little kind of. Gervinho was there.
Yeah.
They all had their little kind of moments, with real strong teams. It seemed to be like the West African, but Morocco to me. When if I think World Cup, I think African teams. I think Morocco would be one of the first ones. They used to qualify early doors. Morocco, like in the 80s and stuff.
Yes,
they were able to get into World Cups.
Yeah, and you see, Egypt always had money.
On Egypt, Ireland played Egypt. We had Ireland played Egypt in Italia '90. It's famous for being one of the. It was a 0-0. And it's famous for being one of the worst games of all time. It's absolutely horrible. Neither team could. It was like watching a bunch of 12-year-olds playing. It was absolutely terrible. Yeah, we played Egypt in 1990 in Italia 90.
And you see, Egypt also, because of the money that they had, their league was so big. Like it was rival some of the
that domestic league is huge.
Domestic league was was
huge.
Zamalek and Al Hilal, I believe, they were one of the power. Yeah, and those clubs. That's why for a long time, Egyptians did not like to leave it. They didn't want to leave Egypt. They stayed in Egypt and played just like how Brazilians used to do back in the day.
Yeah.
So that's why a lot of times, when you look at Egypt, you say, okay, who are the greatest Egyptian players ever? Mo Salah is like 6 or 7 because the top 5.
They got real.
Yeah, they got some real like hardcore Egyptians that like most of them didn't even leave the boundaries of Egypt. So because that's how good Egyptian um,
They
um,
could
uh,
pay good money.
yeah, they pay so much well, So yeah, Africa, I think right now you could see the development. But what Europe is also doing is they be like, let's get them and turn them into citizens. Kante, you hear me? Huh? Pogba, Mbappe, okay, and then Nico Williams, huh? How's your brother playing for
He's gone
Ghana?
in, isn't he? Yeah,
Yeah,
he's gone
how's your
in. Yeah,
brother playing for Ghana and then you playing for Spain? What's the name? The Boateng brothers. Huh? Why is
yeah, the same.
KP is playing for Ghana and then his
Germany.
older brothers? You see what I mean? Balotelli. Don't make me.
Balotelli, he's gone in, wasn't
He's Ghanaian.
he? Yeah,
His
yeah.
name is Bawa, but the family that adopted him, his name is Balotelli. So but right now, sport has becoming global. That's why a lot of times traditional fans, as in local fans, don't understand why people get upset at them when they say you can't say, oh, you have to be from here for you to be a real fan. That one doesn't exist anymore. When the sports became
Mm,
global,
mm.
that part was gone because somebody from another country support this club or sport as hard as anybody else is doing, you know? And that's how it is right now. It's business. It's business. But
No,
sports is a beautiful thing, man. It's just like it takes a lot of pain away from people. Um, like I can imagine how rugby, whether it's in Australia or is in the world of rugby is taken. I mean, you guys saw the movie Evictus, how powerful it was for South Africa during those last years of apartheid when Mandela became president. You know, yeah, man, cricket for Indians and Pakistani. Cricket is the biggest sport in the world, believe it or not. Um, Olympics when it comes around, look how like sports, man. It's a powerful thing, man. Don't We should never underestimate the people who sacrifice themselves. I was listening to what's the name, Shaquille O'Neal talking to his son when his son said, "I'm ready to go pro," and he's like, "Are you sure?" So if you're not, let's just do this part. You are okay. He's like, no. He said, okay, let me ask you this. How many birthdays did I miss? How many recitals? How many this? He's like, a lot. He said, that's exactly what you have to do.
that's the life.
That's the life, man. So sometimes we fans can get a little bit too harsh on these players, but that's why I respect Ronaldo and Messi so much because they gave us 10 years of consistency. And
Messi's going on 20, dude.
brother,
Messi's going on 20 years. Like Messi was peaking when he was 28. He started
bro,
around 18. He's peaking when he was 28. He's still doing it. See that
mhm.
goal he scored the other night?
Man,
See that goal he scored against
yeah,
Monterrey? I think it was a
yeah.
dribble pass about five people, old school style. Tucked it away, bit of luck at the end, but he still put it
Hmm.
away. He's still able to do it. He's still
Hmm.
able to do it on the right stage.
Yeah, and yeah, you're right. A lot of people believe Abubakar
Abutrika.
is the Egypt of football. Yep, and
Yeah,
he's the
yeah.
goalkeeper.
And I think yeah, that I think it's like if you were go to Egypt now, like
He is
people
the
say like,
yeah,
yeah, Salah is a god. Obviously, he is. The whole
yeah.
country stops to watch when he plays for Liverpool.
Hmm.
But if you say, oh, so he's the best Egyptian ever, they'll be like, oh, no, no, no,
No,
no,
no, no, no,
no,
no.
no, 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 no.
Oh, they don't. Like
No,
I
yeah,
said,
don't
there's
go that far.
there's
Yeah,
five players ahead of Salah. Now, if Salah wins the Ballon d'Or, now we have a different conversation.
we'd go up a couple of steps.
Oh, he jumps. I mean, some traditional hardcore fans will not give it to him, but we know the
Yeah,
deal. We know the deal. He said, as football still has issues, but at least preferably over more elitist exclusive sports like golf, F1, tennis. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Football. I remember they used to say football is a rich, what they call it? Rugby is played by uncouth people. Is that what they used to call? But supported by elitists, and then football is. elitist people playing, but supported by some rowdy people. That's how they used to be the cross difference between the two. Um,
No, well, rugby is basically for posh people.
yeah,
Rugby is for posh people. Football was made for the working class. It
for the
was
working class. Yeah.
factory teams that were set up to give the workers something to do on a Sunday to go and
Hmm.
watch, but it came down then the Scottish taught the English how to play football, and it all went from there.
Yep.
Um, but yeah, it is football is the working. Well, I mean, you try to get a ticket for Anfield now and be working class. Yeah,
It's not
forget
working
about it.
class anymore, man.
No, there ain't nothing about that anymore. There ain't nothing working class about it anymore. You see these people there in their
Hmm.
500 euro baseball caps and 1,000 euro fucking
Bro,
jackets. You can
you
tell,
go
man,
to
they're all
baseball.
rich.
Baseball was same thing for Americans, right? If you go and buy food, you might as well just finance a
Oh,
trip to baseball.
forget that.
Oh my god.
Who's but Quasi? I've always said this, and I'm a qualified chef,
Mhm.
right? I've worked in the catering industry. I've always said to myself, what moron? Who's buying food at a football match? A
Bro,
football match only lasts 90 minutes. If you can't go 2 hours without food, there's something wrong with you. You're a child. If you can't go 2 hours with get some food in McDonald's for 20 euros for all four of you,
bro,
get some burgers, and
pre-game,
you go to a stadium and pay fucking 80 quid for some cokes
man.
and some chips and a few burgers just
And you
to
know
have the experience.
this is the funniest
No.
story. I went a long time ago. Me and my missus that I was dating at the time went to an NFL game, Niners versus the Cardinals. And we were sitting beside a family, and one of the young boy, he was so happy. He's been begging all game to go get French fries. He goes in and go get the French fry. He sit there. You could see the beam in his face. He's so happy. And his younger brother comes and says, "Can I get some fries, please?" He's like, "Come on, man. I only have 13 of these fries." Everybody was laughing. And I felt sorry for him. He was right. There was literally, you could count the amount of
Yeah,
fries that he had
that's
after
if you're
begging all game.
no one
Yeah.
looks at their chips or what we call you fried, we call them chips. No one looks at their chips and go, I'm pretty sure I can guess how many is there.
Hmm.
That's not something should be happening. Like, look, deluded Steve is saying, like saying you'd be shocked. Look, one of the things that I would love to do
Yeah.
is go to a massive baseball game at somewhere like Fenway Park,
Yeah.
and I absolutely would buy
A hot
the
dog.
expensive hot dog and the
It's just
beer
an experience. It's
for the
just an
experience. But I'm
experience.
not. If I'm going there every week, I'm
Oh,
not
hell
doing
no.
it. No.
Pre-game. That's why I call it pre-game before you go. Drink, eat, and then after that, go back and drink and eat.
Then you go back to the it's well, I
Yeah.
know baseball goes on about, but yeah, I would if I was going there for the experience, as I say, which
Hmm.
quasi is why um every owner on the planet would prefer to have 99% of the people coming to the match being there on a one-off one-day experience because why? They're going to buy the merch, they're
Yeah.
going to go to the shop, they're going to
Hmm.
do the tour. If
Yeah.
you've traveled from Osaka, Japan to watch a game at Anfield, you're not just watching the game at Anfield.
Your
You're going to the
experience. You want
museum,
the
you're
whole food,
buying stuff, you're
the meat
buying tons of
pie,
stuff. You're
everything.
going to buy everything. You're
Yeah.
going to buy caps,
Everything.
shirts, t-shirts, all the
Hmm.
merch you can get your hands on. You're going to do the tour. You're going to
Yeah.
pay for all the extra bits. That's what they want 40,000 people doing that every week coming in.
That's
And
impossible.
just to have, 20,000 in the cop, you still
Hmm.
need those, I call them turnstile people.
Yeah.
Those people that just turn up at the turnstile, they don't buy a drink, they don't buy
Hmm.
food, they go in, they watch the match, and then they just walk
They
straight
just
back
walk
out
away.
and go home again.
Yeah. And the thing is, this is the thing though. You see, the food is not sold by the clubs or the ball club. It's a privately owned people who are renting the
Oh, they just
space.
pay for the pitch. Yeah, they're just
Yeah,
paying for the
they
pitch.
just
Yeah.
pay for it. So and those I'm pretty sure the rent is not cheap. So
Oh,
they yeah prime
prime real
real
estate.
estate right there. So that's why the food is usually so expensive. So why don't the ball club make it a little bit cheaper so that everybody could make an experience? You know what I mean?
Yeah, because there's no Johnny with his burger van outside like back in the day. Like back in
Yeah,
the day,
you
the
can do
local
that.
guy would pull up outside with a burger van. KFC is saying he has to go.
Hmm.
McDonald's are saying if we're going to be in your stadium,
Yeah.
selling burgers. You can't have these independent guys
Hmm.
pitching up within like a mile of the stadium. Someone in here will probably tell me like that there's a burger van you walk past.
Hmm.
But yeah, these big companies are going, yeah, if we're going to be paying to sell food in your stadium, we don't want anybody within a mile of us
Yeah.
independent selling
Independent.
food.
But out here, people, people just go right beside the street while people are walking in. They'll be cooking right there. They don't
Hmm.
care, But it's. I mean, yeah, yeah, an experience. Then you have to buy the $140 football kits,
Yeah.
bro. This thing it's $1 billion industry,
They're
man.
getting
It's
them for
not
the
cheap.
grandkids. They're
Oh my
getting them
god,
for the kids at
everybody has to
home.
get something.
Yeah.
Tourists wants to spend everything at games, 300, and they come in and spend. So it keeps, business. What's they call it? The economy keeps circling. You think refs in the Prem is bad in baseball? The umpire are worse. We as fans want them to be replaced by robots. Yeah, it's getting close. I mean, Hawkeye and those cameras are getting very good at what they do. Those,
Baseball is very suited to Hawkeye. I think
yeah.
it's not like football. You
Mhm.
got 22 guys running around on a pitch. That's baseball is a completely different.
It compares
But
it, yeah.
Hawkeye, I can see how that would work. Basically, monitoring most of what happens in
The
baseball. Yeah,
lines. I mean, they do well in the
yeah,
tennis. They do well in
yeah.
the
Oh,
tennis.
there's a reason they brought in Hawkeye in
Yeah.
tennis like freaking 25 years ago, dude.
You guys say
Like
AI.
that technology, that whole thing where it hits the ground and it beeps.
Yeah.
That was revolutionary. But that was like that's seriously 25 years ago they brought in the
Mhm.
beeps in tennis. It's been around forever. Like
Yeah.
the one thing I've never understood is why, and I think they should be able to get close to it. If you can put a chip in a player,
Mhm.
in those little sports bra type things they all wear.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you have a chip in a player and a chip in the ball,
Mhm.
then a computer should be able to figure out offsides.
Mm. No,
Because
I
if you know
mean,
where,
it's coming. You seen what they're gonna do? I mean, this is
but
the
like a
thing.
little watch thing,
Yeah.
like the buzzer on your watch for the goal line.
Oh, it's
I think
coming.
we're not far away from a buzzer on your watch
Oh,
saying
no, 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 it's
offside.
coming. I mean, the ball's already um
They're
gonna be
chipped up.
they're gonna chip. Yeah, the
Yeah, they're
World Cup
chipped up.
balls are usually chipped. Now have you seen that even the EPL, who's always the last to implement any technology, they're gonna be doing the
Before
same
it
thing.
gets to the Premier League. Yeah, that's the
Yeah,
last step. They
they're
trial
always
it in
last
with the
up. That's why
Premier
we
League.
don't see it. If you watch the other games, they're gonna have the referees cameras now. The
That's
referees are
coming in.
gonna
Yeah,
have
the
cameras. So you're gonna be there.
POV type cameras.
Yes,
Yeah.
and then they're gonna be using the same cameras as La Liga, which gives you like a movie style,
Yeah, you can see it's on the ref's chest. It's like a body cam.
a body cam. Yeah,
It's like those body cam things.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
somebody's
Gotcha.
gonna be in the booth somewhere, literally directing a whole movie while you're watching the game. It's gonna. I mean, it's gonna get better as we go, especially if AI takes it where you see different cameras. The players are probably gonna start also have their own cameras. Bro, it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be like playing FIFA. It's definitely gonna be like playing FIFA. Big up Mark A. He said, I'm going to the double header Balboa preseason game. I might need to eat. Brother, do more extra overtime. Do some extra overtime at work, man, because you're gonna be spending. And it's an experience, so enjoy it. Enjoy it. Anfield Irishman, your show starts in 6:30. Yes, he's about to leave right now. Big up to you, my brother. Thank you, people. Everybody, please
Ish.
head over to Anfield Irishman's channel. I don't know how to do this transfer of people, but I
Oh
guess when
yeah,
I
don't worry about it. I know I
yeah,
don't know how to
eventually
do
one
that
day
stuff
I'm
either.
gonna get there and I'll be able to transfer everybody. So everybody, at the sound of my voice, please follow Irish Man to his channel, Anfield Irishman, man. Big up to all of you guys. Thank you that everybody's doing well. That's what it's all about. I'm glad that the community is back. Hopefully tomorrow I'll try to come in with a transfer conversation that has to do with Liverpool. But today it wasn't about Liverpool, it was only about the community and our brother Diogo Jota and Andre, Peter Rufai, um, Ian Rash's brother, all the people. So, yes, 500 subs by tomorrow, man. I'm waiting for the FA Cup final to be played in Saudi Arabia. Oh, it's coming. It's coming.
Oh yeah.
It's
Yeah.
coming. Yes, sir. 500 subs by tomorrow, people. Let's
Yeah,
get it done.
6:45 on my show. In case anyone's gone over, yeah, it'll be
Yes, please.
6:45. So this,
Okay.
yeah, I
Thank
pushed
you
it back
so
there.
much, everybody. Oh,
Thanks,
Irishman.
Quasi.
Thank you, man. I appreciate
Thanks,
you,
man.
brother. I appreciate it.
No problem.
Everybody, please remember,
Talk soon.
it's mental health first, man. Mental health first. Peace, my people.